how I've understood it, it's a part of understanding that none of this shit is going to be understood right away, and that you have to be willing to understand, but understanding the fact that you're not going to figure it out until you leave here.
The Empire Podcast.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to The Empire. And yes, we have another great guest for you today. Artist, rapper, singer, performer, and many other great things from the Inland Empire. And that gentleman's name is Tru Lee. Tru Lee, welcome to The Empire.
Thank you.
Man, how's your day been?
Here.
Okay, yeah, it's great to have you, bro. Like, how's your day been? How's your week been? How's your year been? 2025. I was going to say 2026.
It's been good. It's been busy, just with life, work, living life, continuing the journey that we're all on, and just enjoying it, trying to enjoy it and have fun.
Got you. So what's living life to you mean?
Living life to me is, I feel like, every day seeking something that's kind of, I guess, that makes you happy, something that makes you feel joyful, one thing that can make you feel more active even in your community, something that can make you active in your family, something that can make you active just in your life. And usually it deals with happiness or just dealing with, emotions, that taking every emotion for what they are. And then I feel like you can live a happier thing. And I feel like if you live that way, you can kind of maneuver this thing that we call life and what's going on, because it gets kind of rocky.
True.
Rocky.
Since we're talking about, life and happiness, what makes you happy?
What makes me happy? Family, God. Somebody's gonna get on me for saying a bunch of times. But
no, you're good. We don't judge. We do, but we don't. We do, but we don't.
Family, God, my friends, music. Honestly, I think a lot of little things too. I think just little things, waking up, being able to breathe, being able to even realize the person I am, and different things like that. Like that's what I think is my motivating factor, my moving factor.
I love that. I love that. Sometimes family can be annoying and they can get on your nerves, right? So what about family makes you happy? Just their presence? What is it about
I think
family?
my family dynamic is special. I can't speak for other families, but other families that I have witnessed, I think that I think just my dynamic with my family and my other family members' dynamics with each other are unique. They like we talk to each other. Like, there's never been a thing really where you go to a family get together and it's like, oh, so-and-so's here. Or like, it's never been like that. And if it has been like that, it's usually a conversation comes up and it's willing to be talked about. And I think I've taken that through life about how to communicate with just people in general. But yeah, my family is very grounded, especially in spirituality. Like, I think that's one thing that they lead us into. Like, the patriarchs of our family is very much so like, stay on that and watch that. But they've also, what's important is understanding that we're human and we're also going on a journey, and not kind of forcing it on them, and knowing that they've guided us to a way where we've kind of understood that whole side of life ourselves, and we've become certain people in the family where we're able to have conversations with the elders, and we're able to kind of like have therapy with each other, and everybody's able to talk and things like that. So I appreciate my family. They're great people.
Shout out to the fam. The part that got me was like, we're unique. We communicate.
Yeah. It's true though. There's a lot of people that I feel like don't talk, and not even just in family dynamics. I feel even in friendships, and even in things where just every day walking by somebody, sometimes it just takes a conversation or saying like, hey, how are you? Or that to even understand a perspective, and you can kind of see a different side of the world. Definitely. When you communicate. And people have different ways of communicating, and that's another thing that people have to understand about communication, is that it's not always going to be, the things that you want communicated aren't always going to be communicated in your language or how you want it, but you have to be willing to understand that sometimes even how people are communicating isn't toxic. They're not trying to be toxic. They're not trying to be malicious. it might just be context as to what they know, and they're just trying to communicate in their best way. And I think that's how in society we learn how to communicate and learn how to just walk with each other.
Yep.
It works. It can work. Something can work
Amen.
out,
Yeah, amen. A simple hi to a stranger could really make someone's day.
For sure.
I remember I saw an old lady and she was like struggling, right? And I was like, "You got this." And she looked at me and she smiled and she was like, "God bless you. God's on you. God's on you."
Yeah.
Right? Because you just we never know what people are going through, and sometimes just being nice to each other can really help.
For sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you hear so far, please like, subscribe, all that jazz, bang, bang, bang. But Tru Lee, we're here for you, man.
Oh yeah.
For people who may not know who you are and the things that you do, can you please let everybody know who you are and the things that you do, man?
So I go by Tru Lee. If you want to look on social media, all that stuff is official. Tru Lee, TRULEE. It's spelled regularly TRU/LEE, but on social media it's just all the way through. But I am like you said, artist, musician, rapper. I would say a poet, an author, and not say I've written a book, but I mean I could get there. But when you talk about how many times my pen has touched a pad, I would say I might as well call myself an author.
I like that.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what philanthropist means yet. Like, I haven't looked into the definition, but I feel like I am a part in that way, something like that.
Yeah.
In a way.
Philanthropist is someone who gives money to organizations or things that he believes in to support it.
Okay, I don't do that, but I will do that at some point.
Okay.
At some point. But I just feel like I'm just a figure in my community that is just loving to be here and hoping to help out in any way I can, really. That's who I am.
And maybe your philanthropy is, because when we mostly say philanthropy, mostly people think it's financial based.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But maybe your philanthropy is by uplifting people through your art.
100%.
You see what I'm saying?
100%.
Just a different perspective, right? Of how we look at it.
Yes.
All right. But in the Empire here, we like to go, I like to say deep like the ocean, the abyss, or deep like Shaq's big toe in his shoe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So can you give us a brief shout out to superhero movies, origin story? Basically, as quick as you can, or how long you want to do, like where you grew up, how you grew up to the great man that you are today.
Okay, got you. I was born in Los Angeles at Cedars-Sinai Hospital on August 1st. So my birthday just passed, 1995.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. My parents are both, they're from South Central. We lived out there for maybe about 3 years, like once after I was born, and then they were kind of ready to make their way out this way. So they moved to Riverside.
What year is this?
What'd you say?
What year are we talking about?
I think they moved to Riverside maybe 98, 99,
okay.
I think.
What year are you born?
95.
There we go.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I think they moved there like 98, 99. And they moved to Riverside. They stopped in Riverside first, but then my dad wasn't a big fan of Riverside. He wanted to move somewhere that was like quote unquote rural, I guess, but at that time so many people had migrated to Riverside to where he said it felt like everybody he knew had moved to the city, and now he wanted to get away, so he moved to Corona, which is like a smaller, at the time it was just orange groves, and it was just orange. There was like maybe a few houses there, but it was all orange groves, plain, like just open fields and things like that. And so we moved there, and then I lived there basically most of my like grade school life. We're talking about like preschool, elementary, high school, well, middle school, and then high school. I think it was sophomore year, like in my transfer from sophomore year to about to be the junior, I got signed to Warner Brothers. So then I moved back to Los Angeles, and then I lived in an apartment out there pretty young. And I lived like right off of, I lived at the Palazzo, which is like right near the Grove. It's like literally right next to it.
Okay, talk to us about the being signed to Warner Brothers and how that happened.
Yeah, that was a whole journey. So yeah, I basically moved when I was 16, or well, no, I was like about 15-ish when I moved to LA. Got signed to Warner Brothers, And then I was also a part of a management, which was like, it was me and my close friend of mine, and he was like basically managed me to try to get the music out there and try to work with Warner through that. So yeah, I was with them. I got signed. Basically, like, it would be, I mean, off the bat, if you don't have your lawyers and have your stuff together, it would have been a 360 deal. But we were able to sign a contract on more of like a songwriting deal that looked like an album deal, if that makes sense. It was like they signed me for a 2-year contract with 19 songs was our threshold, basically. Like, if once I complete 19 songs, mixed, mastered, they don't have to be released. And that was a blessing that my lawyer and my manager kind of like finessed that in the contract of like, hey, 19 songs have to just be mixed, mastered, and kind of just in the realm. And that can break the contract, and you're free of the binding contract. So we did that. I think the first week we recorded like 25 songs. And me as a kid, I was kind of like, what is this? And he said, just get them done. My manager's like, just get them done. But that was also setting me up for business, where it's like, he wanted to break our bind from the contract, so then we had freedom in the contract to make what we wanted to make, and, you know, do things still under Warner Brothers, but kind of with our own leeway, and not be, if we wanted to leave the contract or somebody else was like, hey, we have a certain amount of money for you to move, we can move. It wasn't like we were locked behind the 360 deal and being with them for 8 years or 10 years and not being able to do anything. So did that, learned a lot, met a lot of people, and then really just kind of continued from there. Like, once I think it was like at 17, I came back home. It was kind of like simmering out, and just like, because my manager wasn't really in tune with music. He was just kind of like a business person. And at one point he was kind of like, I don't know what the next move is. And mind you, I'm young, so I don't really know business like that. It was kind of just a surprise to be in the industry and be like, whoa, like, this is crazy.
Yeah, no family was involved with helping?
No, I mean, my parents were very much so involved. I mean, gave me the green light they had to give me the green light to be like, because I wasn't 18 yet. So they had to give me the green light to be able to move out there, leave school, get basically homeschooled, and like that whole thing. So that was like that was their contribution to letting me do that. Because I mean, you know, a lot of parents might even say like, what, you're not going to school and you're not doing ABC. My parents were like, hey, if you believe in it, you feel like you're meant to do it, and you feel like you have the passion for it, if you're going to put the work behind it, go out there. And that's kind of what happened. And actually, no, when you talk about family, shout out my cousin Pooh. He was a security guard for the manager that got me signed to Warner. So they were having a session, and the dude was kind of like, I need, like, y'all, like, you know anybody that does music or somebody that can be like the quote unquote next thing type thing? And my cousin was like, oh, I'll tell my cousin. And he called me up. That's when I pulled up. And that's where, you know, history kind of wrote itself, where I pulled up there and I like did the songs, and then my manager was like, oh, and like Busta Rhymes was in the studio, like different people were in the studio, and like my manager, I remember him pulling me in the room. He's like, hey, he's like, we're if you can promise me we're gonna lock it. Like, it was like one of those things, like, you promise me you're gonna lock in, because we you know, this is something that we gotta. So yeah, that was, just history wrote itself from there. But when you talk about family, like, my cousin was very much so involved for a long time. Like, he was our security. He was like legitimately security.
This is like 2011.
I graduated 2013. This might have been, like 2011. Yeah, 2010, 2011 era. Yeah, for sure.
Ooh. All right. Continue, man. There's other questions I want to get to, but I want to let you continue your journey about how you got to where you are right now.
Yeah. So basically did all that, met a lot of people, came back home, went back to school. That's where I met a lot of, like, I say, my music peers. Shout out Shaka, shout out Mayhem, shout out, I didn't meet him in college, but even Cam, Gnarly, people like that. But yeah, around that time, like, going back to community college for a little bit, I met a lot of those peers, locked in with different people, kind of found my footing as like an independent artist at that point. I think that was like my lesson of who are you as an artist outside of this conglomerate of thinking you've made it or something. You know, you've been, as Martin Luther King might say, he's seen the hilltop. You know what I'm saying? But and then I'm back down to phase one. What does that look like? And how do you build up to get back to this level? And that, even the level that you've seen wasn't even the level that you wanted and what does that really look like. So yeah, I went back to college, and then community college wasn't like the biggest thing for me. So I went to I went to the music school, and then I wanted to get my degree into performing arts, and they had also like a program where, it was like you could do electives where it was all audio engineering, but then you could actually have that as like your second, as like your minor, basically.
Okay.
So it was engineering and then performing arts. I graduated for that. The engineering program was kind of weird at that time because we were like the guinea pigs for it when it started at MI. They had just started the engineering program, and then next thing you know, it was kind of like weird and BS-y, but we still got through it. I learned a lot, still learned a lot. Met a lot of my peers now that I work with in music. When I talk about like my engineer, shout out Anthony Perez, shout out Mitch. I just met a lot of people. And then from there, shout out Noah Rodriguez, or I'm just shouting out the homies.
Yeah, you got to shout out people, yeah.
But met them and kind of just kept doing it. And then working on the craft, trying to make everything better. One of my very, very close friends, Jordan, he got into filming, and he was always been an actor, but he started getting behind the camera. We started making actual, like, really good, I guess, cinematic videos, and started learning that side of the cinema, learning, like, what is a cam op, what is a DP, what is, like, all these different things that have to work with production. And then, and then I met a lot of my music peers in that time space, like shout out Karama, shout out God, shout out Tyler, shout out Eric Indigo, shout out Shao, shout out Zayner, shout out everybody. I had to shout them out because I feel like in that phase from coming back home from college all the way to now, which might even be like a damn near like 7-year span. It's been a great journey. Like, it's been dope. Like, it's been just meeting. I think the beauty for me, why I think I fall in love with music and I love music, is because of the people that it's introduced me to and the worlds that it's like had me a part of. That's why I think I've fallen in love with music, and it's taken me to places that I think I wouldn't. I thought I would go, but I didn't expect to be. So
yeah. I love that. And we got to give a shout out to the people because they probably think, oh, does he even remember me?
Nah, for sure. But what's also crazy is people that I shout out, I talk, like, they're probably in my phone right now. Like, I'm texting them. I talk to these people every day. Even the people that I might, like, it's been years maybe, I feel like I try to tap in with people and keep that repertoire, try to keep that relationship. Relationship going. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so that's where I'm at now. That's why I'm an independent artist. I've learned a lot of the ins and outs of the industry. I've met people that are up here. I met people that are here, and I met people that are here.
All different levels.
It's all like, when you really come down to it, it meets in a middle point when you realize these people have a love for, when the real people have a love for it, you can see it. And that's where that's the people I give their flowers and that I even associate with,
So many questions. Let's see if I can remember them all. So you turned 30 this year.
Yes.
Okay.
Like what, a week ago?
Yeah. Turned 30 this year, right?
Yeah.
Don't worry, you're still young.
Yes.
I always think it's a mindset too as well in the end.
That's what I've been trying to tell myself.
Yeah, it's a mindset. Trust me, 30 is
yeah.
And I was going to go somewhere else with it, but I was going to start getting into men and women, but we're not going to go there. So many questions. Okay, let's. So I was going to save this question for later, but what's like one of the biggest lessons you learned being on Warner Brothers? What's one of the biggest things you learned?
I've learned that music is a business. And it's as simple as that. Like, when it comes to those people, when it comes to Warner, and it comes to like Sony, and it comes to those people, it's a business. They don't care. I mean, you have those people in there. That's why they stay at where they're at, because they do have those people in there that do care about music and where it goes and where, the next step is for it. But at the heart of it, it's a business. People have to get paid. People's kids have to be fed. People have to go and pay for insurance, like things that are real, like that's a real part. So I think that's what it made me learn is, okay, all the things I've seen on TV, that is a very that's like a 0.5% of like what the music industry is when you talk about being on the Super Bowl or being on Jimmy Kimmel or like doing these super big moments. Those are very, and sometimes they're one of a kind. A lot of people don't even get those moments,
those opportunities
at all. So yeah, I just realized it's a business, and that they're, if you look at music in that way and you can kind of get over it, that it's a business, you can maybe make that step in that direction that you want and kind of live the life. And I told you I'm spiritual, so God has a plan for me anyway. So to me, it's like, if I know what I want, if I know my desires, and I'm just seeking that in the most truthful way as possible, I'll be guided. I'll be where I need to be, not where I want to be. And I feel like that's a better place than just kind of, where I want, because I don't know where I want to be exactly. I might have like things that I think I want, but I don't know what I need for myself. So in that sense, that's where I've looked at the music industry. I feel like a lot of artists should look at it in that sense of like, one, nobody owes you shit. The music industry doesn't owe you shit. And you have to love this thing for a reason. If you want to get it to where you want to get it to, yes, there's the viral shit and there's all that. But even you've seen that when people go viral and they don't have a love for the craft or the product, they can't even do it every day. They can't sit there and be trying to go viral every day or stand in front of a studio every day. Even like Oh Gosh Leotis.
Okay.
He's a prime example of being able to be in front of social media, in my opinion, from what I've witnessed. He can be on the camera and make the beats and do everything because that's what he really wants to do, and it feels natural to him. He doesn't feel like he has to get in front of a camera and be like, oh, I gotta make a beat today. It's like, no, I do this. Let me just put a camera up. I'm nice at it, and then it carries. It's gonna go where it needs to go. People are gonna see. From what I've witnessed, I haven't maybe chopped it up with him personally, but from what I've seen is, and there's a list of people that I've seen, and I don't want to go down a list because then you have to name everybody. From him as like an example, you see like being on social media and doing the art as like it just matches, like it just matches, and that's when you talk about business. That's where a lot of artists fall because they think social media is like the thing that they have to lean into now. But no, it's like, find the niche and what you love, and then you can play into the social media aspect and feed your fan base and do those things, and it gets easy. But going back to your question, the music industry, I feel like the music to me is like a business. It's for sure a business, but you can find your space if you need to. You can find your space if you really love it, or if you really love music, you'll find your space in it.
Gotcha. That's what they call it, the music business, or the entertainment business.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you, as artists, we're not really thinking. We're just thinking about creating. We're not thinking so much about 100%. The numbers, the generation, the advertising, and the 100%. Marketing. And to piggyback on about what you're talking about, oh gosh, and people in general, I think this is why what always will resonate is when you're your authentic self.
For sure.
When you're your authentic self, and you go on social media, then you're just being yourself. You're not trying to put a facade on, or like I have to, like you just say. I have something in one of my books that I'm writing, and it's actually the third one to that one, which is like, hey, if you like to knit, fucking knit, put it online. You'll have your community. There's other people out there who like to knit.
Exactly.
Like, just be your authentic self, and if you want to share it with the world, like other people will connect, And you mentioned something twice now, and I have to address it now that it's back in my mind. And I'll piggyback to this, which is I kept on hearing this lady say that she looks at. I hope I quote her correctly, but I can't even think of her name right now. But she's from Jamaica, and she's well-known, I guess, in the healing community, mental health community. And she talks about there are healers and light workers. And she says that she looks at musicians and poets and people kind of in the art space as being like people that work in the light and work in the healing space. Like that is their thing, right? And I agree with that, but I also agree with the aspect of what's the person's intention, right? Because your intention can be like, hey, I want to just make people do drugs. Then are you still a light worker, right?
For sure.
But I think in general, I think most artists are working in the light, in the healing space.
Yes.
And how I connect this to the thing that you kept on saying was that you kept on saying, I'm spiritual.
Yes.
Right. I used to hear that term a lot when I was younger, like in high school. "Oh, you're so spiritual," but it's like, what does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
So what does being spiritual mean to you?
Okay. So being spiritual, I feel like it can sometimes, even that word saying you're being spiritual can be taken out of context, because there are people that say they're spiritual and they're just.
Go ahead. You're free here. Truly, you're free.
Yeah. I feel
You're
like
free.
people idolize other things that aren't supposed to be idolized, and they say they're spiritual, but they're not, and they're not even connecting to like a higher being. They're more just connecting to material things and
Like
then
idol
saying
worship.
that they're spiritual. Exactly.
Okay.
So when I say spiritual, I feel like I'm connecting to something, or to connect to something that you can't. Everybody wants to control some shit out here. Connect to something that you can't control at all. And that's what I feel like is spiritual, and you can lean into that. And for me, it's God. God has put that witness and that vessel through being Jesus for me. Mm-hmm. And I feel like for me to understand that, it's like I have to, from how I've understood it, it's a part of understanding that none of this shit is going to be understood right away, and that you have to be willing to understand, but understanding the fact that you're not going to figure it out until you leave here, so being spiritual is being connected to something outside of yourself that you have no control over, and trying to understand that, and also knowing that everybody is dealing with that same factor, and you have to be able, and to find understanding is by dealing with people through the spiritual lens, I guess. Okay. If that makes sense. Yeah, okay. that was a little bit of a very much so.
No, we're good. We're good.
Philosophical way of saying it.
Hey, we're here. You can say it philosophical. Yeah. You can say it hood. However you want. You can say it however you want. I believe in Jesus. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Period.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
I guess this is what makes me think immediately, which is, do you believe you're in control of your life? That's what it made me think of. Or do you? Okay.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do believe I am in control of my life. From the word that I read, it says that I have free will, in the sense that I do have control, but there's still in my mind, there's still something going on higher than me. Even if I have my own free will, there's still something that sees the end timeline for me that I haven't seen, and I'm just thinking I know what's going on. So I try to make my decisions through not my understanding, a different understanding if I can. But I also know that I am human, so I do things that might not. I fall short. I just will do things that just might not. It might not actually be getting me there.
Yeah.
But I have to sit back and understand that it takes time, and it's complex. Bro.
We're with you. I'm with you, man. Lean not onto your own understanding.
Yes.
Lean not to your own understanding.
To be honest, I'm trying to understand that, which I think that's a beautiful thing about it. When you talk about spirituality or religion or anything, I'm in it right now. I'm understanding it right now. Mm-hmm. I don't know it. I can't even give an answer really. Now that you're even asking that question, even I've had a conversation. I even told the homie maybe 2 days ago that I'm we're talking about religion and the spiritual and things like that. And I told him, I'm just me talking with this about you is I'm understanding it in the now. I can't even if I feel like I have an understanding of it, me just hearing another person's perspective, or me, but still leaning on my morals and my grounding. You have to have that. You have to have something that you really believe in, so that when you have a debate or you have context, you can kind of meet somewhere, and not that you're just I like that, and then you find out nothing makes sense. You have to have a moral ground so that you can pick pieces and be okay, that makes sense, and wow, along these 5 things, these all have the same commonality, so maybe I should live on that, and then these things are kind of different, and what do I believe? It's kind of like that. So, but for me, it's understanding the whole spiritual thing is understanding in the now. I feel even me talking to you right now, I'm getting a new understanding. Okay, what do you believe in exactly?
It's good.
What are you exactly even? But I do know what I believe in. I know where my morals stand. But I think that's the whole point of it, is that every day it's it's a learning lesson. And I think that's the beauty of it. Like, I'm willing to learn this lesson until I die. And I feel like I'll still be learning it because I don't know what happens after this. I didn't even choose to come here. I didn't even know. I wasn't like, you and I didn't pick like in like RPGs where you can pick your body type, pick your eye color, and then you're like, all right, preset, and now I'm born in this life. That's not what this is. It's
okay.
Like, we never picked this. It just happened.
I'm gonna have to disagree with that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let me hear.
So I believe we going back to free will.
Yes.
I believe we choose to be here, and I also believe we choose our parents.
For sure.
Right. I believe we chose to be here, and we chose the time because I had a conversation, or listening to someone talking, and they were saying, folks, we're in the spirit where I'm talking right now. Okay, so stay with us.
Stay with us.
That everyone is fighting to be in the physical realm. There's a bunch of different types of spirits fighting to be in the physical realm.
For sure.
And so it's a blessing to be in this physical body, in this human body that we're in, right?
Yes.
Like everyone's fighting here. And so when we get the opportunity to be here, it's like a blessing. And so we in my opinion, we choose not only the mother, because the mother's, I call it the Stargate, that we come through. We choose her. And we also choose when and how, and then we get the opportunity to be here. But if you believe in a spiritual warfare or whatever, there's a bunch of different spirits out there all trying to get access to the physical realm. And so they do different things to like either manipulate you, put things in your path, blah, blah, blah. But that's the one aspect I believe that we did choose to be here, right? Just like you chose to sit down with me today.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And going back to like free will and destiny, I believe they both exist simultaneously. And so to explain that is, they'll say in the Bible, God knows your beginning and your end, right? And I guess I'll use the multiverse, right? Like there's, depending on what path you choose, there's different type of string lines that you can end, right?
Yes.
And so the ultimate creator knows every single option that you can choose.
He's basically Loki at the heart of the tree.
Yes. The creator knows every single option that you have and every single option that you can choose and what the outcome could be for those different options, right? It's just up to us to choose it. And the last thing I'll say is I believe that the whole purpose of us here on this planet is to live our most fruitful, purposeful life and to experience life. And to experience life is to experience the emotions and experience, what a jellyfish feels like or what the sun feels like, what sweat feels like, what it is to love somebody. All those things are part of the experience of life, but also to be purposeful. And that's the whole thing. But I also believe that in the process, God, higher being, is guiding us back to Him, I like to say. So that's why I like to think like, if you're ever driving somewhere and you hear something in your mind say, turn left. And you're like, why?
Yeah.
That's the Spirit guiding you in the right direction. So that's just some of my belief system.
For sure.
I wanted to share.
I like that perspective. I just I think for me, it's more of making the conscious decision. Like, I guess I don't remember making the conscious decision to be here.
Yeah.
So I think that's where, in my opinion, that God puts us in this experience to understand a certain part of the whole thing because we have to. And what you saying about people choosing, and then there's also other spirits, I also feel like that, but I also do feel like in a way the higher up still guides in a way.
100%.
Guides in a way, but I don't know. Yeah, I feel like being for me, I don't know about if I'm conscious before, or I don't know anything before this, and that's where I think I live in. I'm supposed to witness here so much and be so in the moment and understand past and present and future and live in that because I don't know, because I didn't know what happened before this. I'm assuming I'm on this thing and I have two eyes. I can feel. I'm assuming when I leave here, I'm not even really gonna know. I'm just going to know what the connection of this inside me feels like and what the experience was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So That's a different way to look at it too.
Yeah. I'm gonna say one last thing before we move on. Someone was telling me that, going back to like being in this physical realm is people fight for it. So people, I've heard a saying where it's like, we're not even in our full soul capacity. We are only in 5% of our soul capacity here on earth, and then 95% is still up there. And so that's kind of like, but we sacrifice that so we can experience this realm. And it just makes me think a bunch of different things, but I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I know I'm taking you down a road, but I'm not going to finish. I'm not finishing it. But if there's a reason why we decide to leave that, and I remember someone was saying, what was the example? They said, in the spirit realm, you don't know what ice cream tastes like.
Exactly.
So you're just like, I'm going to come down here because I want to taste ice cream.
Yeah.
For an example, right?
Yeah.
But truly, let's move on.
Okay,
let's move on.
For sure. We got to have a different off-camera, have another conversation.
Okay.
For sure.
We're having fun. Hope we're having fun, man.
Yes, very much.
Yeah.
So, very much so.
Was there anything else you wanted to say about the spirituality before we move on? I feel like you wanted to say something.
No, not really.
Okay.
I think we spoke on a lot of it. I think most of it is just follow what you feel like.
I like that. Yeah, true.
Yeah, follow what you feel. Yes. Do what makes you happy. That was a root of it. Like really, wake up every day, do what makes you happy, and if you seek that, it'll come to you. If
Definitely.
you genuinely seek it, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Law of attraction.
Yeah.
Be true to yourself.
Yes.
And speaking of true,
yes.
How did the name Tru Lee come about?
Really, it was just like also before I got signed, I was in a group with like a couple other like rappers, singers or whatever, and I called myself J Lovely. That was like my thing. I was like singing, doing the whole But then I realized like once we stopped being a group, it was kind of like, okay, you need to decide on like that name can't really carry, it's not cool, da, da, da. So I remember one day my mom, I had to go to like the hospital with her, and I was just like, I need to change my name. And I just thought of like, what could I come up with? And I thought about TRU, the really underestimated. And that was like the abbreviation. But then I just started going with Tru. And then from there, Lee's my middle name. So it was just like Tru Lee. Oh yeah, might as well go that way. And then from there, everybody just started calling me Tru. And now I think I like kind of go by that name. I don't even have like my other name,
Okay.
So if you know my first name, it's kind of like, okay, like that's cool. Like I know you like that,
Got you,
and then like if you just know Tru, I understand you. You probably know me after a certain point of my life. You know what I'm saying? Or you know me from a certain point, or like that type of thing, which is cool. It's fine. But
got you. Do you want to share your government name with us?
They'll figure it out.
They'll figure it out.
That's
the trick. That's the trick.
Yeah,
it's Truman.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Truman.
Yeah, exactly. Go to Instagram and maybe you'll find it. Go search my page. Go like a bunch of pictures. Go react to a bunch of my stuff, and maybe my name will just like magically pop up.
That part. It's the Truman Show.
Yes, exactly.
Truly, for people who may not like heard your music before, how would you explain your style if you could?
My style, it's nostalgic. That's the best way I can put it.
Okay.
It's reaching for nostalgia 90% of the time, whether that be any music genre. It's not that I'm not saying like I'm a hip hop. I'm not saying it's country like we talked about. Country, that could be coming, country album. But you got house music, you got all this stuff. But really, for me, it's just nostalgia. Like anything I'm making just reminds me of a place that I was in my mind, or just in the world, and just because I feel like I'm a high key empath on the sense it's effective sometimes. It's like not a good thing sometimes, but I think that helps me with my music in the sense I'm able to write from different ways, talk about different things, say it with a different tune behind me, different like things like that. So I think my music is nostalgic.
Gotcha.
That's the best way I could put it.
I like that. We're talking about like nostalgic, like slave hymns. That's the type of nostalgia.
That can be as simple, and then like that resonates through just music in general. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think a lot of artists reach for nostalgia when it comes from the Black culture, when it comes to our people in general. I think we reach for nostalgia. That's all we can really, like, you talk about African Americans, in my opinion, can only really reach for the nostalgia that we've created for ourselves here. It's not something that we can, like, reach all the way back to the motherland and be like, oh, I'm nostalgic about my ancestors, because you don't know. A lot of us don't even know where the fuck we come from or like what our lineage is. It's just we know we're Black and we know that there's something that lives in that, you know? So
I like that.
You know?
Shout out to the latest album that you came out. The title is going blank on me right now. I don't know why.
Boy Meets World?
Boy Meets World. Yeah. Topanga. Man, I used to
High key.
Topanga, I used to.
And when you talk about
biggest crush.
And that's what I mean. When you talk about nostalgia, like that title reaches for that, but it also talks about where I'm at currently in life. You know, it's like.
Talk to us about it. The title.
Okay,
Talk about why you named it.
So Boy Meets World was the title comes from. I mean, a lot of people consider me, with my background, from what they've seen and what I put out to the public, consider me a hip hop rapper artist. But people that really listen to my discography, they see that it's hip, it's progressive in the fact that there are songs in there that are reaching outside styles of hip hop, but it also shows that hip hop is the root of it, you know? So Boy Meets World was more, shout out to Shay, that's my brother. He's a producer, he produced it. When I came to him for that album, I was like, I want people to dance. I don't want to worry about no rapping. I don't want to talk about, like, that's going to come out, obviously. Like, I'm going to write something to talk about. Like, that's just what I do. But I want to get people to dance, whether even if it's like I say something for 30 seconds and the rest is just the beat. They'll fill me in it or whatever. I don't really care. It's just more about making people dance. So with that, I felt like for everybody outside looking in, Boy Meets World was like them seeing me meet the world for the first time. Even though I feel like I've been connected to this music sound forever, or these different sounds and different things forever, it was more them seeing me introduce myself to the world and them being like, oh, okay, this is the type of music he can make, or this is the type of things that he can do. So what's next? You know? And that's where, you know, I hope as I'm building this fan base and doing this, I'm making everybody feel like I'm carrying them with me, and kind of we're walking like this, like, hey, look, this is what I'm going through. This is what this is. You know? So,
take on the journey with you.
High key. Yes,
I love that. You know, I don't know why I thought of something like martial arts when you were saying that right now. High key.
High key.
Yeah, I was thinking martial arts. I was like, okay. All right.
The high key, low key.
All right. Tru Lee-san. Tru Lee-san. I really enjoyed the album, and I get the vibe now when you say about dance music, because I think you made a joke about the album cover laying, like all the good album covers have someone laying down on it, right? You had the Michael Jackson, Teddy Pendergrass. But what my personal opinion, I thought it would have been cool to have you laying down on the beach, because that was the vibe of the album for me. I felt like there was like it had that fun like beach, like out in the sun having fun vibe, right? That was the vibe I had from it. I was like, I really enjoyed it. And there was a lot of songs that I really liked, but there's some songs in particular that really hit me. I think Yourself was one of them.
Oh yeah. That's the joint. A lot of people enjoy that song.
Yeah, Yourself, and there were some other ones. I think I'm looking at my notes and I can't even read what I put right there. But I remember in the song, I think it's Mesquite. Is that the right one?
Mesquite. Yeah. That's a joint too.
I think I heard a horse.
High key.
There was a horse in it, right?
For sure.
Just wanted to double check.
High key, no, for sure.
I was like, was there a horse in that?
Because the Mesquite is like a play. It's very much so, for people that have heard the song, it's that's the more like grown up, freaky, sexual song on the project, but the Mesquite title is referring to Mesquite, Texas. I think it's one of the homes of rodeo. And it's like one of the places that, like, my mom, she used to tell me, I used to visit Texas every year during the summer to visit my grandmother, And it was like, obviously Texas has, to a lot of African-American people, Texas has a home or just like a building of something like that. So I wanted to pay homage in that, but also showing that I'm not from there. That's why you hear like the plane things and the different things. It's talking about traveling, because it's about a thing of like the boy meets world. I'm going to a different place, even if it's in a different state. It's like I'm trying to reach out and hear that. So that's where Mesquite stood for, Mesquite, Texas. And it's like it was like paying homage to that, but giving on, also like the double entendre of, stallions and women and like that type of thing, that type of thing. So yeah.
Dope. You mentioned that Shay produced it, right?
Yes.
And I see him in a lot of the stuff that you do. So how did you meet Shay, and what's been his impact in your life and your style?
Shay. So Shay, to be honest, Shay, we've known each other for a long ass time. Probably since high school. But like when I was freshman year, he was I think like a sophomore, so he's like a year older than me. And when I first started doing music, I've been doing music since I was like probably like 12, 11, like really having the microphone and doing that whole thing. But that's another story for another time. But I went over to his crib and he had like a mic set up and he's been producing forever. And this was like I said, like this was like freshman year. And I think we started working, but then it was like a span of time, because then I had left to do the Warner thing, and like I just didn't really work with people. But then I came back, and Tyler, who's really like, you talk about, he's like my right hand or my right arm, like that's the guy when you talk about music. Like he's the producer that really helped me classify my style. But as we had worked, I think me and Shay were able to kind of like reconnect worlds. And that's where we found it. We came reconnected at a time where both of us were trying to, I guess you can say, reconnect to the world in a different sense, make people dance and get people having a good time. And that's where he really showed me like, you can have fun with it. You can have fun with it. And one thing I think that every producer shows me that is in my world that I've met so far is that these fools are talented. Like these fools are crazy good at this shit. And that's more what it showed me than anything. Like I feel like the music and stuff, like we connected that because we know we're good. Like yes, it opened up new sounds to both of us working, but I think that it just made me confirm that no, these fools that I connect with and these people that I know, these people that are maybe not even like, they're not the names are slipping me, but say like Cardo Got Wings, or people like producers that are big, or they're not the hit boys, but these fools are fucking talented. Like they need to be on that scale. So I think that's what it is. Like I think that's what he showed me was like, yo, the talent out here is not to be played with. There's people that are taking it to that caliber, and that's what I'm saying with even Tyler. Like Tyler has always showed me that, and that's where I think Tyler has shown me the competitiveness of this thing of
the industry, the music industry, not even just music industry, the music business in general, of one, not giving a fuck really about what people say about the art, because one, people are, we can talk about that too. People's attention spans are so quick and they, they're not really latching on anything anyway. But he showed me that like, make what you love. Keep doing that. What you're doing is what should be done. And not making it like Tyler never made me feel like, oh, you need to go to this style. He's made a style. I've had my own style. They've meshed right in the middle. And then we've grown as artists, and even the different things the different camps that we've been a part of outside of that. It's like, yeah, it's like they say, iron sharpens iron. Like that's just what it's been. And at this point, everybody that you've seen in my circle, y'all have seen on Instagram, y'all seen it on my YouTube. All those people are my people. I believe in them, and all the people that I work with or have ever like posted or anything, I really feel like they're going to be the next. Sorry to keep carrying on so long. We're here.
To answer that question, Shay has he showed me a lot about a different side of music, a different culture of music, which is why I do anything with anybody. And he's shown me the talent is crazy out here. And he showed me that it's real. Like, this shit's real. It's fun. You know what I'm saying? It's really what it is. Like, this, like, music is really what it is. And it's not just a facade of people saying that they're great. They're really great.
I've heard so many different people, from Cam Archer to Tangent, talking about, like, people be sleeping on the producers and the artists in the IE, right? Mm-hmm. And you mentioned that you, being in Warner Brothers, you've seen people at different levels, right? So, in your opinion, why do you think some people are at different levels than others?
That's another complex. That's like the spiritual question. That's another complex question. It could be a number of things. From what I've seen and what I witnessed, it's literally just.
Go ahead, Tru.
Sometimes it can't just be the person, but sometimes it's really just circumstances and like, and everybody has to understand that everybody comes from different circumstances, and sometimes it does take a little more work for you than it took the person whose dad put the work in and was able to give it to him, you know?
Okay.
And so that's where the levels stand. And then some people don't understand. It's not that I'm not trying to say something. I'm trying to see how to say it.
I got you. Just let it come. Just let it flow.
Yeah, I think that, like, yeah, the reason why there's levels is because there's artists that some don't take it serious. Some people don't put the work in. And then where they're not putting the work in, they might have the connections, if that makes sense. And then sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes the person doesn't have the connections and they're putting all the work in. And that's where it kind of builds a level. And sometimes, in my opinion, those two have to meet. And that's when we talk about, like, I was talking about this with a friend the other day too, like, the music industry, when they say it, it's a corny ass statement, but it's a real statement. So I guess it's not corny. It is 90% business, 10% whatever else, like creative, because you have to be able to talk to people. You have to be able to go outside and go to the party that you might, to you, is like, oh, I don't like going to parties and I don't like being around people. But sometimes you have to do that to meet somebody. And sometimes what you don't think is ingenuine, your genuine spirit needs to be in that space to let people know. And sometimes that'll open a door for you, you know? And some people be scared to do that. Some people are afraid to network, go out there, look at it as me being or somebody being Hollywood or being too that way. And that stagnates people. So that's one side. I feel like another reason why people stagnate their level is because they have the connections, but they don't think they have to be in the studio 24/7. And they don't even know what being in the studio 24/7 looks like. Like, being in the studio 24/7 does not mean being in the studio just because it looks good and you're filming yourself on your phone and you're like, oh, it's cool to be in the studio. No. Being in the studio 24/7 is understanding that, just like we said, it's a business. So you better be making 50 songs to maybe be able to place in, you better be able to throw them in film. I forget the placements, putting them in placements. And you better be able to have songs that are just for songwriting that you can dish off to other artists sometimes. And then you got to have your main line of music where it's like that. So I feel like a lot of artists play themselves by not playing the whole game. And that's why there's levels. The niggas that are at the top, they play the game on every level. They play it on a social level. They understand social media. They understand the business. They understand engineering. They understand production when it comes to what this is. Like, even why you need an interface to set up sound. How far do I need to be? Like, you have to understand all that stuff to be at a high level, because when you're at a high level, you're almost overseeing all that stuff. And you have to almost be able to place it in the right place. Like, when you talk about a manager or a CEO, the reason why they're in that position is because they're able, in my opinion, some people get to that position without the practice or without, just from knowing people sometimes. It happens sometimes. But for the most part, a lot of those people, why they stay in that position is because they, like we're talking about, knows the beginning to the end. They know the cashier who starts, their strengths and weaknesses to end them up as a manager. And maybe they're not good as a manager, but they can be at the gas station and I'm talking in a Costco.
Well, I'm with you. We're with you. We're
like
with
a
you.
Costco mindset, but it's like you can be in the gas station and work that, and you might do your best job there. And that's where the higher level people, I think they see the whole thing and they're willing to try everything. They're willing to fail. They're willing to have the conversation with a person and maybe not know. Like, for example, I said philanthropist. I didn't really know, but I brought up the conversation. You brought me knowledge. Some people are afraid to approach conversations without knowing. Like, they might not know some shit and bring it up, and then they want to, oh, I don't know it, but okay, now I'm not even going to talk about it because I don't know it. But it's like, no, that's what communication and this whole thing is about. So higher level people, I feel like they know it all. You can see it. Even when you meet these people, you feel like, oh, damn, they're so socially aware. And mind you, we're human, so we're not perfect, but you can tell. Now, mid-level people, it's like maybe that one thing just hasn't clicked for them. Or maybe, and for my space, for me speaking for myself as like a middle, and my idea as myself as a middle-paced artist, it's really the work ethic. It's like I'm balancing putting in work and not spending 24/7 on my craft. That's what I can say is what it is. It's like, yes, I cook and I do my whole job and like and I make money, but there are people who are doing this every day and eat, sleep, breathing music. And I try to be in that way, but it must just be what my journey is, having to do what I have to do to get to my pace. And that's just what it is. But like, I feel like there are things I could step on to get to that higher level. But me taking the initiative to do it, I feel like that's why I will get to that higher level, is because I'm willing to step on those things and really work on those things and make the sacrifice of being like, okay, I might have to work for this, but let me find a way to make this work, or I have to pull up, or even like for example, like I missed this interview last time, but I made it a thing that I have to pull up. I can't miss it. I could have been on some other shit and been like, I don't, but that's not what it is. If I take my music seriously, I can take what you do seriously. If I take the culture seriously, gotta be on time. You gotta be on top of that shit. You gotta be willing to find those areas you're lacking in to be at the high level, because it's different up there. And I've seen it going with Warner. Like, these people are living, breathing, sleeping, eating, laughing, music, business, 24/7, bro.
You know what you immediately made me think of when you talk about these high level? I think of Kevin Hart. I don't know why. That's just the thing envisions in my mind when you talk about like these high level people.
And some people look at his lifestyle scary of how much he has to work, and you hear it in his stuff about how much he has to do things, and that's kind of like, damn, I had to be at it that much.
Yeah,
kind of do, and that's where you find out if you're passionate about something.
Yeah.
Because you'd be able to for example, you'd be able to be here on a Tuesday at 10 a.m. or 8 a.m. You could be doing a million other things. But if you're passionate about it and you can even work those million other things into your schedule and still make what you want to do work and shape, it'll unfold for you in the best way. I think if you have that intention and have that, and that's where, like what you just said, Kevin Hart or people on that level, they have that intention towards their work. It's prevalent. You see it. Like, you see that's what it is. And they have the bank account to show.
Yeah. It's so cool because I'm glad you brought all that up. There's two questions I want to relate to that. I think what really helps a lot, and people hear it, like, I think when you're in your authentic self and your purposeful work, like the work that you do, it is work, but it's like, I enjoy doing this. This is life. And I think that's what comes across for people like Kevin Hart, The Rock, Jay-Z, et cetera, et cetera. But I wanted to ask you, I can't even think of the other question, but the other one was, if you can drop like names that so people can kind of relate to someone who would be a high level artist, a mid level artist, and then I guess entry level artist. Can you drop some names?
Okay, so
for each one.
High level, I would consider people like Brent Faiyaz, Kendrick Lamar, Drake, J. Cole, even we can go Chance the Rapper.
Okay.
We can talk about No Name Gypsy.
Okay. And give us a mid one.
Mid, I would say all my peers.
Okay.
all my peers, like we're not like big, but I can't say now when I say peers, I'm not talking about the IE. I'm talking about my peers, like my people, because there are IE people that I consider high level when it comes to they are moving in that realm already, you know?
Okay.
And but for mid-level, I would say, yeah, like my peers are the people I work with, the people I've like I said, not IE worked with, but people that I consider that I've grown up with and worked with and made music with.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I feel like our mid-level, but we're on that way. There are things that we have to nip in the bud to take it to that high level. And I think we're doing that now. It takes that vetting and it takes you scholaring yourself to go and make that thing happen. So I think we're on our way to that high level. It takes work, it takes time, but there's that. And then entry level, I don't know about them.
Gotcha. Okay. Someone who's in the studio learning a beat right now, learning how to make a beat right now.
I think I don't know about them.
Got you.
I think that's where it comes down to. I can't even name an entry level artist for real. Like
I love that.
I don't know any. I don't know any.
I got you. You know, the other thing I was going to mention about these high level performers, artists, characters. I think what also a big difference between them and a lot of people, because let's say they do kind of know a little bit of everything, but what I noticed is that they have a team behind them.
Yes.
That gets the work done, right?
Yes.
That's what's important.
Sure,
that's what takes things to the next level. It's like, you know, I come here and I set up everything and do everything, but I look forward to the day where I have my own location, and I just show up with the guest.
Yes.
All right, everything's already ready, right? And I think,
believe you're headed there.
Man, we're there.
I believe you're there, and you're headed there even further,
bro. I'm gonna say this again. I said it before. This is the best. People may not realize it, but this is the best platform.
100%.
Not just in the IE, not just in California.
In general,
it is the best. And if you go through the records, you guys will realize that as well.
Yes.
So, like I said, going back to Boy Meets World, right? I really liked the album, and it gave me a vibe, and it made me think. I was like, man, it would be really cool to see you do a collaboration album with a gentleman. I believe you may know who he is, Nicholas Gray.
Nicholas Gray, bro. Yes,
wonderful
person.
I think you guys would make a great album together.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Nick is somebody I feel like I witnessed. I just like really met him at the Juneteenth event. That was like our first physical meeting. But it was like one of those things where the energy's has always been there, you know? And what I love is that, in my opinion, he is like, I mean, I think maybe from social media, I don't know him. Like I said, I don't know him personally. From what I've seen, he is like the epitome of like Black boy happiness, if that makes sense, was enjoying like art and enjoying music and enjoying just being yourself as a Black man, still being a Black man. But, you know, as us, when we try to like certain things, it's kind of outside of our culture or something. It's like, oh, that's foreign. But when you really step into it, there's so many of us that are into that shit and that really love that shit and love to have those conversations and are doing those things. And I feel like he is that in living form. You know what I'm saying?
And
he does not sway for it. Like, it's not like he's like, oh yeah, I'm not going to show this off just because I think he literally does not give a fuck about what you think about him. You know,
I like that.
And I love that shit. I love that shit.
I don't know why it made me think of Kid Buu when you said that. It's like Dragon Ball Z reference.
It
made me think of Kid Buu. I don't know why. Truly, I want to know if you can want to play a little game with us.
Yes, I'm down.
All right.
Very much so.
So I want you to go back in time. Actually, So I want you to close your eyes for us, right?
Yep.
And I want you to go back in time, maybe, you know, between the ages 8 to 10, right? And I want you to, you smell something cooking, and it's your favorite dish. What is it?
I just smell like 30 things right now, but you know, I'm a chef, so it's kind of like difficult to be like.
Got you.
But
Take us back in
I think
time.
I can smell. My mom makes the best. Like, this is like the home team meal, ground beef tacos.
Okay, where are we?
We're at the crib.
Got you. What's around you?
I'm by myself because I have a half sister and we never lived together when we were growing up, not that often. So I was eating tacos by myself at a table.
And is that where we're at right now? We're at a table eating the tacos?
High key.
Gotcha.
High key.
Is mom in the kitchen with you? Or
no, she left already. She cooked and now I'm just sitting there eating, kind of like, probably got like an action figure near me or something.
Okay.
Like, oh yeah, after I finish these tacos, yeah, I'm about to play with the action figures or something, I feel like.
For sure. Do you have a favorite action figure?
I was really into, I would go to Universal Studios and there was this store at Universal Studios because I didn't write, like sometimes the action figures that I would get didn't have the detail that I wanted it. And sometimes it wasn't even characters that you could get at like a regular Toys R Us or something. Like, for example, Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War. Like when I was younger, I was like, oh dude, I need the Marcus Phoenix action figure if they got one. So there's this store, I don't know if people remember, if people are like real comic book like enthusiasts, not even comic book enthusiasts, but more fan of the fan base and movie fan base. There's this store that used to be right before you would make it to that turn to like go to the gates of Universal Studios of the theme park, and it was on the right hand side, and it was like they had all the anime action figures, movie action figures. They had it was just the best place. So I would always be like hoping to stop by there after Universal or before we go in, try to get a toy or something. I was like,
That was the place,
man. That was the place.
Well, thank you for going back in time with us.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for taking me there. I'm like hungry. I want tacos now.
Yeah, there it is. Now it has been, there it is. The answer has been answered.
Yes.
The answer came from within.
High key.
You've played with both the live band and with, backing tracks with a DJ, right?
Yeah.
So do you prefer a live band over a DJ, and what's the difference for you in the feel?
Sometimes I feel depending on the room, depending on the people, live band can be it, and sometimes the DJ can be it because it's just a way to connect. Like I performed at Apartment 200, and I think a live band would have been sick at Apartment 200, but I think the DJ setup was like really cool for that. Kind of doing the backing tracks. Even I was supposed to have a band on Juneteenth, but it didn't really work out. So having the DJ and then also who your DJ is behind there, like I think I always pick. Usually Tyler is the one that is DJing, but if he can't do it, I'll have somebody else. Like at Juneteenth, I had Phantom Thread, and he absolutely killed it. Just the energy, because it's one of those things where he enjoys music too. Shout out Phantom Thread. Everybody follow him. Go do everything with his music. Go subscribe. Go listen. Go bump. Go tell a friend to tell a friend. He's a legend. But him listening, him kind of like DJing the set. It was like he enjoys music, and I know what type of thing. So when he's in the background, that helps other people like enjoy it. His background is, he might not know all the words, but he's swaying, singing, and he's still hitting every mark and still being professional. Like making sure that it goes to the next track right, but still having a good time. Because sometimes you can be up there and be like you can tell that you're, this fool doesn't know what he's doing. But like that whole thing. So yeah, like I feel like the DJ can work depending on who it is, how it goes, and then the band can work. The band is something different though. That's why I have to tell artists is like, the band is music in its rawest form. And music in its rawest form is no matter how much you think that it's supposed to sound a certain way, I can almost guarantee you, even if they're professional, the song is going to sound different, or it's going to have a different feel every time because everybody's in a different emotion every time they're playing that instrument. And you have to look at everything like that as well. Like you have to look at the guitar, the bass, the drums, the keys as you almost. Like they're looking at the song as if you were on the song, rapping your lyrics or whatever. So then once all that comes together, that's the beauty about a band too, is once it all comes together, you see the unity, and then it's like you see it literally, or you hear it literally through an audio form. So I think both are amazing. Both are great. it all depends on situation. It all depends on vibe. Sometimes it depends on where you're at as a person, whether you need a DJ or whether you even can you deal with a band, like that kind of thing. So and I think both take professionalism. I don't think some people think that you have to be more professional to deal with a band than to deal with a DJ, but no, you have to be just as professional. Like you have to be just as on time with things. You have to be just as you just have to be professional with that shit.
Yeah. So. It's what's cool about also music is that the same song played by a different person can sound different. So you go back to the band, right? Like let's say, we have a different keyboard player today. It's gonna sound a little different
because of context. His whole context of where he even learned how to play piano might be different. You might have had one pianist from
Sri Lanka.
Exactly, learning a whole different maybe chord progression than you through school. And then you might have a dude from rural Mississippi that just knows church tunes and church chords, but then has made his way to the West and learned a whole different way of playing style. And you get both those keyboardists on one song, they're gonna, maybe even how the producer might have put it out, there's one main way to do it, but even they might translate it different. They might be do it a different way. I remember we were doing we were rehearsing for it was the LA County Fair we did, and I had a band. And I remember they had practiced all the songs, but we had met for the first time all in person. And I kind of just let them go, and I was like, okay, just show me basically how I go about it a band. If I send it to them and they've been able to practice, we haven't had a lot of time to rehearse, I'll be like, y'all play exactly what you interpreted that I sent you, and I'll just follow, because I know my music so much that I'll just follow the beat, or I'll follow it in a different way, however. And mind you, they played mind you, it was amazing, but there were some songs that, if you were a fan of the original, you wouldn't even know that it was the same song until I started saying my lyrics. And then you're like, wow, that actually fits. That's actually really good, So that's a beauty of working with band members and different things, but it can, that has everything in the music industry have pros and cons. Right? In life in general have pros and cons. So there's pros and cons of working with a band. It takes a lot more work than just working with a DJ and being hey, these are my songs, this is this. But it still takes, if you still want to put it like that and you take yourself serious, it still takes the same amount of work. You still have to make sure all the songs, one thing I make sure, whether I have a band or a DJ, I always make sure we write out our set list and I have it on the floor. And I don't care how corny it looks. I print it out. We put it on the floor of the stage. So we don't ever fucking forget what the next song is, where we're at with it. Even if we get lost, you can look down at the ground and be like, oh, this is the next song. Yeah. Even if I say some bullshit in the middle of a song, even if we finish a song and I start talking, rambling for 3 minutes, you know what song is next. Yep. So I'm like, drop that shit. You know what's what's coming next. So I always try to do that, or try to stay on top of it, even for make sure each band member has the set list, so that even when you're playing with a band, they know where they're gonna maybe start at the beginning of the chord. They're gonna be like, okay, this is the chord we're about to start. Let's switch into this, So it's fun. Both are fun. DJing, bands, I recommend all artists deal with both.
Facts.
If you haven't dealt with one, go deal with the other and do it intentionally. If you've been with a band your whole life, go fucking do some sets with a DJ. If you've been with a DJ your whole life, go do some things with a band. And then you might even see where your sound is at too. Where you might be hey, I actually, because what I found out, it's when you might do things that you've made in a studio all electronically, and then you deal with a band, you start thinking damn, I should make an album just with the band, where they should just play some shit and I should just go. And and then, or vice versa, you might be with a band and be damn, they make a lot of shit. Maybe we should translate this onto a more DAW platform and really get it critiqued and get this shit sounding it's really on tempo and all that type of stuff, So.
Interesting. Did you mention Apartment 200? Is that what you said?
Yes.
What's that? What's Apartment 200?
Apartment 200 is a Los Angeles hotspot for DJs and up and coming. I think, to me, it's really a place that the IE could really, these places in Los Angeles, Apartment 200, Blind Barber, places like that. I feel a lot of IE artists, if we were to really plant our foots in there, those could really be ways to catapult our sound, because those places are kind of niche places, but they're so pop culture that it's so many people see it, and it ends up like people start being there, and because even the actor, when I did my Apartment 200, said the actor Daniel Kaluuya, my fault if I'm saying his last name wrong,
okay,
but the one from Get Out and the one that was in the other one with
he's in Black Panther
Jordan.
too, no?
Yeah, Black Panther as well. Yeah.
Okay.
He was at my set and he watched it and he gave his love. He's like, "Hey, bro, you did a great job. Like, I'm gonna have to tap in." Mind you, he didn't like follow after, but just to know that I was in that conscious space, and I think that i.e. artists can be in those spaces, and because I feel like me as an artist, it was like very welcoming and it was like fun, and I feel like those are dope spaces. But Apartment 200, oh my fault. Apartment 200 is like a DJ space, lounge space for like up and coming sounds, but also people for the DJ space is for really like bigger DJs. Like when you talk about DJ, bigger DJs pull up there and up and coming DJs. But when it comes to like artists, it's more for an up and coming space for like artists.
Cool. Yeah. And the IE can benefit from it.
For sure, I think they can.
Ooh.
I think they can.
Note, folks. Note, folks. Note.
Yeah.
Tru Lee, what's your thoughts on freestyling?
Freestyling is it's cool. I've done it. I think people should stop holding like, and I think it's happening, but I think people should stop holding up this thing of thinking that everybody that freestyles is doing it literally off the dome or doing it like literally off of the top of the head, because they're not. A lot of people don't. And it's like one of those things. It's like a gift in the artist realm. Like if you can freestyle off the top of the dome, make sense, have a good pattern, not get repetitive, have subject matter, have maybe throw a chorus in there, like make a song.
Okay.
That's like that top tier freestyling. But for the most part, which is like people that be saying they're freestyling, they're not. They're just doing what a freestyle usually is. They're doing an acapella version of a song that they've written or done, or they're doing it over a different beat, and that's like their freestyle.
Got you. The reason why I ask is because if I kick a beat, would you freestyle with us today?
Oh yeah, I'm with it. I'm down.
You with it?
Yeah.
So if I kick a beat, you're down.
If you saying you kick the beat or you're gonna play a beat?
I'm gonna kick a beat. And then would you join us?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's gonna be goofy, yeah, for sure.
We're with the goofiness.
I'm with it, yeah.
He was one of my favorite Disney characters.
Yeah, high key.
You ready?
High key. Let's get it.
Freestyle session. Commence.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Look at the sky. I might get high. I'm coming by in my ride. Valentine's, the way she blow me kisses in the time. Listen to the beat. Move your feet. This is real top of the dome on the beat. I'm nice. I'm great. But that didn't rhyme. But I had to tell you one time that I'm the best of all time. Yeah. Fiddling, move to the riddle and put it. I'm fucking around. That's my freestyle, y'all. Freestyle. Yeah.
Thank you, Tru Lee. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's what it was. Yeah.
I should have put on my freestyle hat, but
it's all good. It's okay. It's all about
next time, man.
It's all about the spirit, man. It's all about how you feel about it.
Yeah.
You've been on a major label with Warner Brothers, and you do indie work.
Mm-hmm.
If you had an option today to be part of a major label or continue being indie, which route are you taking?
I would definitely want to take an indie partnership for sure.
Gotcha. Explain.
So I would want to be an independent artist, but I want to be doing so good as an independent artist that one of these big machines would be able to willing to partnership with me. Like, they understand my vision, they get where I'm coming from. And sometimes that's exactly what we're talking about. Comes on, like, that would come on to like relationship. If I have a relationship with a specific person in this space, but I'm also building my own thing, once it gets to a certain point, they can see it, especially when it starts accumulating a high point of revenue. It's like about a partnership, and that's really what I want, to where somebody can trust me with my independent vision, but they're throwing us bread. And they're either able, and sometimes it's not even throwing in bread, but they're able to match it. If I have $50,000, throw me $50,000. Match me the 50.
Okay.
So we have 100. We have 100,000 now. You know, or if it's like, if I'm putting up a mill, y'all throw up 1.5, and I promise I'll get that 1.5 back, because we already know what we're doing through this. And that's my goal, is to build a trusted relationship, partnership with really anybody, any label that I feel like it becomes down to a family thing, where I feel like the relationship makes sense. And where if I'm putting food into, as they say, if I'm going to be a boss, I'm going to be putting food into A, B, C, and D's mouth. I hope they're people that I genuinely care about, and that I've seen them build with me, and that at this point it's like, you know, I built this thing with these people to where I'm my own entity, but now I can kind of just maneuver how I do now, just maneuver through the industry how I can. But from what I've seen and being a part of Warner and getting a partnership and all that type of stuff, especially in the times that we are, it takes, to be an independent artist, it takes you just getting that ball rolling and getting people in your corner and building those relationships to where somebody can be in that room when you're not in there and say, oh yeah, I know this cat is it. And then when that person looks for you, you better damn sure you've done enough work that when that person looks for you, that they're like, oh, they just dropped the project. They just put out like 3 videos. I gotta tap in. And so, yeah, I think like my goal is to be independent, because there's nothing like being independent. Nobody's telling you when to wake up, how to wake up, when to do it. But then that's also a thing too. You're somebody's not telling you, but you better fucking be telling yourself to get up. That's the difference. Is like working for somebody's telling you to get up. Being signed under a label, they're telling you, hey, we need you. You have to sell this many amount of tickets. Moving independent is you waking up and saying, hey, team, how many tickets we sell? Okay, let's get on it. We got to sell more today. Marketing. Did we get on the billboards on Santa Monica? Did we get those billboards up there? Okay, who do we talk to make sure that they get on in a more timely manner? Because it was supposed to be on there yesterday, but now you're saying that it's going to be a week. Things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be on top of those things, and you have to be watching those things if, like, you want to be independent and you want to be big in it. Like, you have to be, like, we were talking about Kevin Hart. Like, he is... in comedy, if you really want to put it in that space, he's like an independent mogul in comedy. He has his own Kevin Hart. He has the Heartbeat. Like, he has his own club. He has his own, like, that's the independent route you want to take as a musician too. You want to be able to do that. You want to be able to create spaces for you want to be able to create spaces for musicians, like being able to have a music club that we can all pull up to and be able to like, and have the best of the best people to be able to peep that. You want to be able to like start your own label and not like be trying to fuck over artists. Like, you want to have a label that actually teaches artist development. Do they need to get through here? No,
they're good.
Okay, but artist development. That people that like, you know, for artist development and things like that. So I think the independent route for me is where I'm gonna go, and hopefully somebody even sees this and they're like, wow, like that cat, I would love to partnership with him on something, like even if it is for like 2 years, and just to get him on that thing, and then we talk about percentages back and shit after. We can talk about that shit, you know.
They're like, we saw that freestyle that Tru Lee did on there, and we
gotta sign him.
We gotta get him.
We gotta sign him.
Gotta get that country album popping. What was I gonna say? Yes. This is gonna be a long one here. Do you think there's still money to be made in the music industry? And I say this because, you know, we have a couple of examples like L.A. Russell. He's doing it, right? His independent stuff. But then I saw something with Murs. Shout out to Murs. We'll have you on here soon. We'll have you on here soon.
He doesn't know it, but like I don't know if he remembers, but when I was signed to Warner, after my first manager, I went to another manager named Robert Red, and Robert Red was really close to Murs. And we went to like maybe like 3 of his shows at the House of Blues, and we were backstage, met. And I was like, Murs was really like my first time seeing an artist move independently in a way. Like he was still obviously like, you know, moving with labels and things, but he's very kept a thing of like, I have to still put out my own this. I still have to put out my own this. This is still the way I have to do it. And everybody respects him.
Yeah.
Music industry.
So
sorry to me.
Yeah. So do you still think there's money to be, can there still be money made in the music industry? And, you know, we have examples like, you know, L.A. Russell, like I was saying. But then I saw something recently posted by Murs where he posted his most latest album. It had 0 views, 0 streams on it. And then there's a viral clip going on with Scarface saying he doesn't post any of his music on, you know, streaming platforms because, you know, only with a million streams, you'll make $4,000. So in your opinion, do you think there's still money that can be made out here in the music industry?
Yeah, because they're printing money every day. So I think there's still money. You just got to find, like, you have to give people a reason to pay for it. That's the thing. Like, that means you can't follow a trend because, like, if I can get it here, why do I have to pay for it? If I can get it here, why do I need it for? So that's where even you talk about, like, where we dropped Boy Meets World on the Even platform. That was, like, a direct-to-consumer thing where it was like, okay, and I also just seen Cam Archer and Nabian do that, like, go on Even and... which I think every IE artist should keep doing that. We should all keep putting that shit on Even. Obviously, get it to stream platform because you don't want to stop yourself from making a bag somewhere there. But you want to, that's why I tell people, get your BMI, get your ASCAP together because there's money to be made out here. There's money if you know it, if you know where it can be made at, and you know where they put music at. That's what I was talking about with placements and in film and stuff. I mean, a lot of people are starting to take that route because they know that that's where money's starting to be made. But that's a place, you know. There's, I mean, shit. I perform. I get paid for performances. Like that. That's cool. Like I'm getting paid for that. It's not maybe not be on that level, but it's like, yeah, there's money to still be made. And like I said to start it, there's money being printed every fucking day, and there's somebody with it. So if you can give somebody a reason to do that, yeah, it can happen. But just don't. I think what it's not is there's no money in making it in a label anymore, in my opinion.
Okay.
Going to a label and expecting to become an Usher, Chris Brown, Lil Wayne, that's not happening anymore.
Got you.
Because they're not doing artist development. You have to develop yourself now. That's where it's
the difference.
That's the difference, and that's where it's getting hard. Where people don't think there's money to be made in the industry because before you were getting paid while you were developing yourself. Like you were still like you could be like, you know, not having any media training, but you're still like the label's still paying you, you know, $10,000 for an appearance or something in that realm. You know?
Yeah.
But now nobody wants to pay nobody who's not famous, or they're not gonna like. Nobody's gonna pay to interview somebody who doesn't have anything that's gonna benefit their platform or do anything like that. So you have to build an artist development. See, okay, what are the things that why do people like me, or why do people want to watch me, or why do people want to hear what I have to say? And then you'll see how you can make money out of this shit. Like that's where I feel like, yes, there's money to be made out here. You just got to find it, go look for it, and stop being like scared to not go look for it, or like stop thinking that you're better than the places that the money's at. You know, like stop thinking that you can't go, like I said, go perform somewhere. Because sometimes there's been places that I was like, oh, I'm not gonna perform in my mind, or my peers been like, bro, don't go perform there. But I go there, and when I leave, they put $350 in my pocket.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, I'm definitely coming back to perform here because the place that's talking about, oh yeah, this is for the clout and the thing. I didn't even get 2 followers, and I didn't get no bread from it, and I still had to pay for gas to get back home. So no, like I'm gonna pull up on, but then also you have to play that though. Like you can't think that it's all. You can't think that it's all in one area, and I think that a lot of people don't want to step in those spaces because they're scared to like thinking like, oh, I don't want to make this money, or I don't want to do this, or it's not going to be good for me. But you have to live in both those spaces. You have to be willing. You have to, yes, stand up for yourself as an artist, knowing that you have to get paid and you have to move as a business. But also you can't sacrifice that and then not do any things that don't bring that. You know that sometimes there are those things you have to sacrifice to be. Like, oh, might not even give me clout, but somebody's seen it. Even if it is just one person or there's 2 people, somebody's seen it.
Yeah, it can benefit you in a different way than financially.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
100%.
I like that. That's a great way to put it.
For sure. Having fun, dude.
You are?
I'm having fun. Yeah.
Good. That's the point. Some of these platforms are. I won't go into it. Actually, I will go into it. In my opinion, a lot of these platforms, everyone has a podcast, as you know.
Yeah.
You might have one yourself.
Yeah.
Everyone has a podcast. And
the exact reason you're probably about to say.
Huh?
I said, no, because you were saying that I probably have a podcast, but I was like, I probably don't because of the reason that you're probably about to say right now.
In my opinion, it seems like most people start a podcast to hear themselves talk and not the person that they interviewed or they asked to be on the platform. And I'll leave it at that.
High key. No, it's true because us artists, we like to talk about ourselves. So when the interviewer likes to talk about themselves, we don't want to get interviewed anymore. In my opinion, there are some. In my opinion, like if I feel like the interviewer isn't genuinely interested in interviewing me, what's the point of me being here?
What's the point?
You know what I'm saying? Like we might as well turn off the camera and just have a conversation with each other and just talk about some shit and just pick each other's brain. Don't have to do like that. But if you're here, I feel like if you're interviewing me, it's because you have interest into my subject matter, what I'm talking about, what I'm speaking on, and you want to pick my brain about it. And you want other people to hear things that you already have heard or maybe that you've already observed and maybe the questions that you have for me, I guess.
Yeah. It's like, I invited you here so you can hear me talk.
Yeah. Which is cool though, but that's cool though. Still, that's still cool though.
I to each their own, But the platform that we host here is a lot differently, which is like we're introducing people to you via our platform, right? And obviously, I'll give my take and stuff, but it's like it's not about me. It's about you.
And I appreciate that.
You know what I mean?
Very much so, yeah.
And obviously we're gonna have fun. We have in-depth conversations with people coming with philosophical answers that they weren't. He wasn't expecting. He was like, "What am I walking into?" He's like, "I didn't know I was gonna talk about God like this."
Yeah,
shit. He's
no,
like,
I'm trying to
figure out what I'm gonna eat for lunch. Not talk about what God is to me."
High key. But then I like those conversations. That's why I'm willing to go anywhere. I'm willing to talk about whatever. And I told you from the jump off camera, I was like, I'm willing to talk about whatever. I don't give a fuck.
And that's so. I believe there's certain things that are healing and uplifting, right? And one of those things is what we talked about offline, which is exercising, which is healing and uplifting for the body, right? Yeah. And the spirit and stuff, and scientifically proven. But I also think high key, high level, shout out to 19 Keys, conversations, which takes your brain to these levels where it just like starts opening your perspective that just brings in all this light. So I think that's also very important. But I want to know if you want to play another game with us.
I'm down.
Yeah?
I'm with it. Yeah.
This one's called Memorable Moments.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you a picture, and I want you to tell me what you think's happening inside of this picture.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay, I think I know what's happening here.
Okay, tell us what you think's happening in it.
It looks like a playground. It looks like hopscotch is right here. It looks like this homie right here is thinking about playing jump rope with the homegirl. And then I can't tell by this person's perspective of drawing, but this might be depth perception, where these people are, far, and they're in the background partying, having a good time.
Okay.
Or they could be small people, little people. So these two little people are almost talking to these two people, being like, should we go hang out with them? Or they're doing their own thing. But that's what I'm getting from this picture.
Actually, flip it over. Tell us what it says.
3/14/98 wedding day. 6/24/25 Dr. Coach the Pancake Man.
Okay, so yeah, that's his wedding day. That's him at his wedding.
Oh shoot, who are these people?
I don't know. That's him and his wedding.
I see. So they're getting married.
Yeah.
And who are these two people in the background?
I cannot tell you that. I didn't.
Dang, that's left up for interpretation.
Yeah. So I wanted to know, after you reading that, if you'd do us the honor and draw a memorable moment that happened in your life.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay, yeah. I'm down. Who drew this?
Dr. Coach C.
Oh, shoot. Damn, I was like lowball judging the art, but my art's not about to be any better.
Yeah, any memorable moment that comes to your mind. And take your time. Thank you for playing with us.
Always, man.
Yeah. Are you enjoying yourself? You having an okay
Dude, I'm
time?
having a wonderful time.
Okay. You don't have to lie to us too, Tree. You can be like, bro, like,
yeah, no,
I'm on my tacos now.
No, not at all. I'm actually just because my day today is kind of just paced out, kicking in. So I'm blessed to like just be here. And one thing I want to tell you is I want to thank you for the spirit that you welcomed me here with, and not even just today, but when I first met you, there was just a lot going on in the day in general, but your spirit stood out, and I highly appreciate you for that. And I think one thing is going to carry you a very, very long way, and it's just just my thing is just stay authentic to who you are and keep being who you are, because that shit, it made me feel welcome, and you're a welcoming person. It seems like I don't know your everyday life, but you're a very like humbling and open person. I really enjoy talking to you. It's wonderful.
Oh, thank you, bro. That means a lot. Yes. Thank you. Appreciate that, man. Takes one to know one.
Always, exactly.
I really do appreciate that, man. That does know, because going back to, we don't know what other people's going through.
Exactly.
So I like to move in love,
for sure,
in the energy of love and positivity, and and if I don't receive that back, that's totally fine. Or if the opposite of that comes my direction, I have the freedom to go away from that.
Yes.
I think I believe another part of life that we choose to be here in is the test that we go through.
Yes.
And I have a saying that I'm not sure if anyone else has used, but you can't spell testimony without test.
Oh man, I never heard that one, but that's a good one.
All right.
That's a good one.
All right. When I used to do hip hop, I remember I had a course years ago. It was like, if life became so easy, we'd never know what a challenge would be.
For sure.
Right.
For sure.
And it makes us stronger, right? A lot of people use this thing, a diamond is made when a coal is put pressure on. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
So I believe that everything that we go through makes us better.
Yeah.
But what's really important is our mindset through the thing that we go through.
100%.
Right?
100%.
Either you can be bitter and wicked about it, or you can take it and become better from that thing.
For sure.
Because I believe that everything that we go through in life, that God puts us through, because if we're going to talk about God, nothing is given permission, quote unquote, book good or bad, without God's will.
For sure.
And God wants the best for us.
Exactly.
And so as long as you have that mindset, in my opinion, you will always overcome, even though some things may seem more difficult than others. But it's just
you'll know that I think sometimes where some people take is that they think that God is being intentionally hard on them, and I think once you understand that sometimes is the beauty of it, like you just said, having that balance. Like I think that's what makes this experience so amazing, that I can feel all those things at one time. I can understand what it is to be mad. I can understand, and then I can feel mad and come out of that, you know what I'm saying? Or I can be happy and see the opposite side of that emotion. And I think that's where the balance is. Like, I think that's a beautiful thing, to be able to experience anger, to be able to experience because like I said, after this, we don't know what happens. What if I'm not able to even experience sadness, even though it's not something you might want to experience? But it's like, how do you not know, or how do you even know that you deal with a whole experience of uncertainty to deal with something that's so certain for so long? And that's what you need, is this long tier thing of uncertainty to live in something once we leave here that's so certain. Or it might not be that, like, you don't know. And then I think that's where it goes back to our conversation of that thing where I, in my opinion, didn't choose to be here. So when I leave here, God has an ultimate plan for me. He has an ultimate guiding factor to take me to the next phase, or whatever the next phase, because I don't remember really being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be here.
Yeah.
But now that I've understood life and I understand control, I understand parent hierarchy, I understand things, when I do leave here, I can kind of appreciate it a little more, and I can kind of like move into the next spiritual life, or even if that is heaven, it's like I can witness that from the perspective that I have now, and be like, damn, this is everlasting and this is what it is, and I can appreciate it. Cause like, you know, there's some people that be like, I want it now, and you might not need that now. Like,
you might not be ready for it.
You might not be ready for it because you might be so like angry at the fact that you haven't lived in anger, and then once you get happiness all the time, you're like, this is just uncomfortable. I'm so used to being mad, and it's just not. And I don't even like being happy all the time. Like, what is happiness all the time? And you know, it's like, you know, you can get lost in that. So it's like, yeah, it's a thing, man.
It makes me think of two things. The first thing it makes me think of is, imagine, well, you know, you experienced being on a major record label at 16.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if you would have imagine if you were never signed and you got signed to it today.
Oh,
How
yeah.
different of an experience
it would be totally different. I feel like I wouldn't even have the experience that I have now. And it might be worse, because if I'm at this age and I had to like do all it and get all excited and see, oh, this is where it's at, and then go back to square one, it would be kind of like rough, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why, you know, and I mean, if we want to go even back to the beginning of our conversation with the spiritual thing, yes, I want the music. Yes, I'm an artist. I might want to do this thing, but that might not be my
calling.
Might not be.
Okay. What do you
and
think
I'm
is your
okay
calling?
with that.
What do you think is your calling?
I think my root calling is to, like I said, I think I'm learning it every day as I have conversations with people. But I think what I have learned, and that is kind of my special ability, is being able to talk to people. But then also knowing like my mental space when I'm talking to people. Like I know when I don't need to be talking to people too. Like I know when I need to be like to myself, and I don't need to share my energy. Like, because some people will be in that space of wanting to be alone, and then somebody will say something, and then they feel like they need to butt in, and they feel like, oh, now I need to be a part of this conversation because I need to talk about some shit. But sometimes I know like, maybe it's not my time to say shit. Maybe I just need to be listening. And but then also I know when it's time, like, okay, you need to say something. Go speak up, say something. Like, and I feel like that's where my specialty is in my extent, or my calling is to connect with people and be an empath. Be an I don't know if I'm gonna say, yeah, be an empath. Yeah, be an empath. And so far, God has shown me that it's through the music you will explain your empathy and your testimony and those things. But I feel like He has a whole nother
purpose
lane for me. Not even purpose. I feel like my purpose is what I said, like connecting to people and people connecting, to helping people connect to each other, and just building that empath route. But I feel like the vessel that He's taking me to get to, how He's gonna make it blossom, I feel like it won't look the same every time, you know?
Okay.
I feel like right now it is the music, and right now it's being an independent artist, like living through the journey of an independent artist and doing the music. And I feel like that will be one thing, but I feel like there's so many other ways, like connecting through food, connecting through like my cooking stuff, or like I really want to produce stuff, not producing like when it talks about like music, but I want to produce shows and not just shows, because some people be like, oh, I just want to produce shows because I want to produce shows. Like, there's some things in our hip hop culture and even the Black culture that I want to produce, because I haven't seen it, but I've seen it being touched. I've seen it been like nicked on and been like pat, but I feel like I can hit this point, and then help inspire somebody else to really get on the point a little bit more. You know?
Give us an example of one of the things.
One of the things, for example, I feel like I don't want to give out my gyms, because
I know, but yeah,
people give up business stuff. But
just give us a little taste.
One of the things I've been thinking about is like I want to connect, and I'm not even going to say the idea. What I want to do is I want to connect with independent artists through food, and showing that connection to let people know, like, yo, there's a connection between your home meal, where you grew up, what you eat every day, what's your thing, and to where your music roots from, why you listen to that, what do you listen to while you're eating, or what has like, you know, is your music influenced by your food? Is the food influenced by your music?
Yeah.
And I wanna take kind kind of journalist route of that. I want to sit back and take a journalist route of trying to figure out that and letting kind of the same thing that you're doing, like talking to artists, but in the sense of like, we'll go to their house and their mom will cook them and I'll be interviewing them while we're eating, or I'm talking to them, but not even interviewing them, more talking about like understanding, I'm like, understanding like, hey, I'm an artist and I want to understand your perspective of where this comes from. I know where it comes from me. Mm-hmm. And I know that both these things hit home for you. So that's what I want to do. I want to produce some shows for other artists to be a part of. I want to help the youth in the sense of like helping with film production and kids knowing like I want to direct my own films. So obviously I have ideas, scripts that I've thought of, and there's things I want to do.
Like storytelling scripts.
Yeah,
okay.
Storytelling scripts and things that I want to do in that realm. And that's why I say a philanthropist, because I feel like I have my hands in so many things. It's not so much as like just being a musician. It's that I want to touch the culture and move the culture forward as much as possible. But I think right now my vessel is music to move the culture. And I think I think that's for everybody. I think everybody has one vessel to kind of start them. But I think once they reach a certain point, they can open up those vessels and move in different things. Because who's to say, like, you're interviewing people now. You said you're an artist. Who says that, 3 years after your shit blows up, you're like, oh, I'm going to drop an album. And then that becomes your identity where it's like, wow, we really love his music. Mm-hmm. And this is the way we're connecting to him. But do you remember when he was doing interviews? Or do you remember when he was making just beats and now he's a host of everything that we watch? Or do you remember when he was on TV, he was the actor, and now he's a politician helping us move things in our city, like, things like that. Like, you never know what vessel somebody's gonna move in, but it's like, if you're really passionate about just moving it forward and the culture and everything, it'll happen. Like, you'll get in your niche or get in your space. Yeah. And so that's where I hope, like, the music right now, because I feel like that's the most way I connect to people is through my music. And that's why we even got here. Like, I feel like my music was good enough for it to be like, okay, like, let me pick his brain, or let's talk to him, or let's see what. And then obviously our first interaction helped get there. But even our first interaction, the only reason why I got in that door was because my music translated to somebody to where they felt like I was able to be in a space, So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm working on music to get there, but I know at some point I'm gonna be a director. Hopefully Michelin star chef. Fucking producer, everything. I hope to take it all. I hope to take it all on. I mean, I do it a little bit of it all now, so why not? I love it. Conquer it.
You guys are hearing it first right here on the Empire. Right? You're hearing it first right now. It's so interesting because when you said the word director, I actually saw a vision of you actually kind of sitting in a chair like this, like you are right now. But then I just saw you embodying becoming a director with wearing the hat, LA hat, and everything like that. Like every just embodied it. And there was something else that you said that I wish I could remember, but it's okay. We'll move forward. We'll move forward. Sure. Truly, I want to thank you, man, for being on the Empire, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
You talked about cooking, but not many people know about you cooking, man. Can you talk to us more about your cooking? What do you do for cooking? What about food?
When they talk about that for a living, I do that for a living now. Probably for the past, like I say, I actually do it for a living for the past 3.5 years, like professionally doing like cooking and food. I've been doing that, but it's always just been like it was like the thing where I'm a musician, but literally, and I was raised by a lot of women, and all of them cook, and they're like chefs, and they do it. And then I just picked that up. And then even the men in my life too, like cooks. My grandfather on my mother's side was a chef in Louisiana and owned his own restaurant and did things like that. So I think that's where I kind of embraced it. Like I embraced it and was like, okay, like I'm gonna do this. I got a private chefing job. Was able to like kind of really, sometimes you got to fake it till you make it. Like I wasn't a private chef, never done private chefing up until that time. And I'd done chefing. I've learned things in different kitchens, but getting to that level of chefing was not on my bingo card. And just so happened, God works in mysterious ways. I was blessed in that way to be there. And now I can actually put on my resume, I'm like a private chef. I sous chef or do my own thing. So that's like one thing. And I've appreciated cooking, and I'm learning to appreciate cooking as much as I appreciate music. It's definitely like I said, it's kind of the same basis. People enjoy it, people intake it and enjoy it subjectively. Music and food. Like, I really don't care what people say. There's Michelin star, this, that, and the other. There's Grammy award winning, this, that, and the other. It's all subjective. Like,
sometimes bias.
And that's what I mean. Like, some of the stuff that you hold at a higher regard, that doesn't mean the world likes that, or that doesn't mean that everybody liked that, and that doesn't mean that every niche likes that. Or so now, like I said, that's why I've learned in cooking, where everybody's taste buds is different. Yes, there's like this basis of saying like this is which comes to a technical space. Like, when you talk about, when it comes to music, you're recording at a certain dB, using a certain mic, using a certain in and out chord to make sure that your input and outputs are reading correctly. Like, that technical stuff matters, just like in food, cooking, frying your batter at a certain temperature, blanching your vegetables for a certain time. Like, there's like technical stuff, but when it comes to actual enjoyment of it, it's subjective. Like, if somebody could say, I like my asparagus cooked more than what you did, but that's not to say that that's how asparagus is supposed to be cooked. You don't want it to be raw to get somebody sick, or you don't want something to be something to get somebody sick, or do something to get somebody sick. But when it comes to saying a perfection, it's like everybody, it's subjective. And that's how I feel music and things. So don't get too caught up in like, if you're a chef or you're a musician, don't get too caught up in trying to think that your way isn't the way, and to create your own lane and create your own thing, because that's how a lot of professionals get into their rooms, or they created their own lane for it, and then they perfected it due to knowing the technical side of things, and then using their own creative mind to like really cater to like the style of it or something.
Yeah. I guess that's why they call it the arts, because it's your creative expression.
100%.
Culinary arts, music arts.
People lose the art part of all those things all the time.
Oh, 100%, because people are more caught in the technical thing, you know? And I think the best thing is to have if you're bombarded by both, is to be able to have a balance. But I would even say...
That was a lot of plosives right there. When you're bombarded by both, you got to have a balance. Those are a lot of plosives right there.
Okay, that happened. I know. That happened real quick. Totally... He caught that, folks.
That's some rapper shit, y'all. That's some rapper shit right there.
Alley-oop. But I guess if, and I would probably lean more so on the art side, on how it makes you feel and what it goes through, because, I think it's very important. And a couple things, man, so many things about food I want to say to you. When you get a chance, I would love you to do research on the food that is native to this land, and the types of food that is best for melanated bodies. I would like you to do that research.
For sure.
The other thing that made me think about, related to your project about interviewing artists who may also be chefs, or chefs who may be artists, or maybe just singularity. There's an artist, I believe his name is CJ Wesley. I think he raps in a group with Kasai and Nicholas Gray and Cam Archer. He's also a chef and a rapper and a musician. So I think that might be a good person to...
I got to tap in.
That might be a good person to link with, to actually see the cooking.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
To see the cooking and the music, right?
Do a collab.
Yeah, I think that'd be
music and food.
I think that would be a good person to reach out to talk about that, because he's also...
Shout out you, CJ.
Yeah. And the other person I wanted to mention that I think you might be nice to link up with is a gentleman named Trendy Chef. Goes by the name Trendy Chef. He's based out of Moreno Valley. Very popular chef that's happening. Been on Food Network and stuff like that. Wow. He's Trendy Chef, but he's based out of Moreno Valley. So I think that might also be...
You have to send me through text, send me the information about these things so I can remember.
I will. Hopefully. Please remember, Miles. I will. I'll try.
And if we see this, if you guys see this when it does come out, remind us again if we didn't.
Yeah. And
share that information.
And if you're a chef or an artist,
tap
and
in.
You're interested in talking about food and the collaboration, reach out to Tru Lee.
Tap in.
Mr. Tru, welcome to the Truman Show.
Yes.
You know, we mentioned a couple times, quite a few times, that you're a spiritual man and you believe in God, right? At least a higher being, we could say. If you had one question that you could ask God and you knew you can get the answer to, what would that question be?
what are we really here for? I think that's everybody's question for real. Like, what is this for? That'd be my only question. What are we really here for? Mm-hmm. And I might not even want that question answered because that would kind of kill the, excitement for me. But I think that would be like on days when I'm feeling low in my spirituality, that's a question I always have. I'm like, what the fuck? What is all this about? What is it about? Why? What's going on? So I think that would be like my one question. Mm-hmm. And I think that's going to be my question when I get there. Even though I live through it, I'm going to be like, what was that about? Mm-hmm. like I had a great time, but what was that about?
Yeah,
what was that about?
Why was I there with Antonio in the Empire? What was that about? Why did he have me draw this sketch? I saw midgets in a painting and I didn't know what to do with it.
But like we said, that was depth perception. So it was actually people farther back. I don't think it was little people. We're going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. If you can give it an assumption, what do you think the answer probably would be? If you can get an assumption.
I think he would say something. I think the higher would say, like, you're here because you're here. And that's all you need to know. Oh. I feel like, I feel like he would tell me that. It would be like, and not say it. I don't want to,
express yourself comfortable.
Just to open for, but just to open that. But yeah, no, I feel like that's what would be told to me would be, and I feel like I would like that answer too. Like I'd be like, you lived it. That's all you need to know. You lived it, you experienced it, and that's why, Mm-hmm. And you don't even need to question it. There's no point to question. You lived it, you're past it. Now it's about moving forward. I
love it.
And you experienced it. And I feel like that's where I think that's where my music caters to. It's like that space of nostalgia where that space where maybe God has placed you and God's like, you're here now. Like, just appreciate that happened. You don't have to live in it. You don't have to that doesn't have to be you. Just appreciate it. And I feel like God has also created me to make the music to make people feel that when they're able to go back in nostalgic, make a nostalgic kind of perception of themselves, my music to help them do that, to help them understand that and then through food, help them smell that, help them hear it. And then through how I'm living, they visually see it. And that they can do that in their world as well, So.
Yeah, I just had a vision. First I want to say, if anyone felt offended by me saying the word midget, I do apologize if you guys are offended by that word, little people.
That's little people.
But if you can tell my intention, I didn't mean it.
He's a great guy, guys. Great guy.
I'm okay. But what I did want to say, I just had a vision right now, what you saying about, people listening to my music and having nostalgia or eating my food and having nostalgia. What it makes me think is that I look forward to the event where you have your food catering there while also performing live at the same event.
That's something that's in the bubble up too as well. At some point, that's been something that when you talk about business ideas, it's something I want to do. I want to, like I said, curate the food and the music together, try to figure out how that can work. It's a little bit of moving pieces from when I've planned it out when I laid out the blueprint to try to make that happen. But it can work. It can work. And I want to do that to where you can connect those experiences and you're
2026.
Right on the dot. Yeah, you're right on the dot.
Let's make it happen 2026.
Let's do it. I'm with that.
Even if it has to be on your birthday.
Oh, see, exactly. Something to celebrate. Yeah.
Let's do it. Already have the food set out. Have a venue to play.
Yeah,
it's easy.
Yeah, that sounds
good.
It's easy. Yeah, that sounds good.
It's easy.
Good. High key.
Just there was a line that I got from a lady that I know named Karen. Shout out to Karen.
Shout out to Karen.
And she's not the type of Karen. She's
Filipina.
She's Filipina. Yeah. She was cool. But she was like, you have to be able to tastialize the meal. Very interesting.
That's true.
Term.
That's true.
If you guys understand what that means, basically it's like you visualize what the thing's gonna taste like before you prepare the meal.
Yes. And if you're a food scientist, you'll be able to do that for real because you'll know you could look at something and be like, okay, that's that. I know what it tastes like. I know what that tastes like, and I know what them flavors would match together. And then obviously as a real chef, you always taste as you make so that you know that you're actually getting there.
Yeah.
So that you're not looking at it and be like, it looks the same, but that thing is bitter as hell. You know,
That
like,
part.
you know what I'm saying?
Got
So,
you.
but yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense.
I put too much, I was going to say radish, but it's a different turnips. Too much turnips in it.
Yeah.
But the reason why I mentioned taste-your-lies is because this is what the Spirit's telling me to tell you. I would love for you to either make your meal that you plan on having for this event catered to the set that you're going to be performing, or have your set catered to the meal that you want to perform.
For sure.
It's two different approaches, but I think you understand where I'm coming from, right?
Yeah. And you just make confirmation. That means that if whatever, like I told you, there's been business ideas that I have in my mind, and you just gave me, I guess you can say you gave me spiritual confirmation that God literally said, no, hey, like, do it.
Let's do it.
So I know exactly, like, the idea that I've had and been kind of manifesting. I know that it's okay when I leave here. It's kind of step on it, put more gas on it.
Let's
you know
do
what
it.
I'm saying? Yeah.
Let's not. Time waits for no man.
No, not at all.
And let's get it done. And so,
high key. No,
passing on that love, bro. Let's get it. Let's get it done, right?
Yeah.
You know, you have the visions. Let's get the visions, because I do believe if we don't execute on the vision soon, other people get the visions that may not be as talented as you, but may be more willing to put it in
fruition. Yeah,
for sure. Right? So,
and I'm not letting that happen.
Let's not do it.
Not letting it happen.
Got you. Please do that vision.
Yes, I will.
Come map out some stuff tonight, I guess.
Yeah,
exactly.
We get out,
exactly. So yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm excited for it. Want to play another game with us?
I'm down. I'm down. I'm all with the games.
Let's go. So this one's called Quick Slip. So what that means is I'm going to give you one word, and I want, without you thinking, to say whatever comes to mind when you hear this word.
Okay.
Understand?
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Sure. Yeah, makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
You ready?
Yep.
Quick Slip. Here we go. Green.
Red.
Music.
Love.
Pride.
Shut that shit up.
Phantom.
Threat.
Edifice.
What the fuck does that mean?
Heartwarming.
My mama.
Albert and Costello.
What that means either.
Milk Duds.
Nasty.
Common.
Bald ass nigga.
Party.
Next door.
Love.
All the people I'm surrounding myself with.
Jalapenos.
Delicious.
Hope.
Every day.
Topanga.
There's a finer black woman.
Here.
Wait, what was the last one you said?
Here.
There.
Halo.
Master Chief.
Hierarchy.
Game of Thrones.
Possession.
Material things.
Prince.
Michael Jackson.
Enjoyment.
Tru Lee's music.
At last.
Truly made it and got a bunch of money.
That's Quick Slip.
I like that one.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Anytime.
You know, we heard a lot and learned a lot about you today. Truly, the Truman Show. I keep on saying the Truman Show.
Yeah.
But what's one thing that most people, maybe even close friends, don't know about you? And it could be anything.
I'm an open book. Like, you can talk to me. Like, a lot of people, from what I know, a lot of people have a perspective of who I am, and they've never even like had a like sit down conversation with me or anything. So yeah, I'm a great person, a great guy, cool guy, chill. I'm also human, so like I understand the fact that even though you might have a perspective of me being perfect, I know for a fact that I will not appease to your like box or like perspective or like your image of me. It just won't last. Just know that. Like, I'm a human being, so I'm just not gonna do that. But I am a good person. So.
Got you. Can you give us something more specific? Like, you've done mushrooms several times. Something more specific. It could be anything. Like I like gold on my wrist. Anything.
Shit.
This gets everybody all the time, every time.
Yeah, because it's like, what is something that I don't tell people that I fuck with heavy? It's pretty much all out there.
Yeah.
I just talked about it all in the interview.
Yeah, and it could be something simple like I don't like cayenne pepper, and I'm a chef.
Oh. If you want to talk about food, one thing is I don't like olives. I'm a texture person.
So no squid or octopus.
I do like squid and octopus.
Okay.
But I'm still a texture person. Like there's still like octopus has to be cooked well. It has to be it has to be prepared right in like a right way. And squid, oh, delicious. It has to be prepared right. I love those two things. There's something that I feel like I can say that people don't know.
I do too.
And that's why I'm gonna find it. Hold on. Just give me maybe like 15 more seconds.
Got you. And what I will say is that edifice means kind of like a building. That's what the term edifice
an edifice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Edifice.
I think I learned a new word. I should have said new word learned. That's what I should have said when you
edifice
said that.
is kind of like a building edifice.
And what was the other?
Albert and Costello is a old comedy duo, black and white comedy duo. Mm-hmm. Sorry. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. I wish I was up on knowledge. Okay, but one thing that people don't know about me is that I really like solitude. I like being by myself. Even though it looks like I like being around people, I love being around by myself. But I also, I love being by myself and I love experiencing life by myself. But I also doesn't take away from people enjoying that with me. I'm not like a selfish person where I'm like, oh, I just like, I can be around people for long periods of time. It's just like I really, really enjoy intaking life by myself. As you say, I pulled up here by myself. I just really like pulling up places and like understanding life by myself. And sometimes if I know it's a place I'm going to pull up multiple times, I like experiencing it myself first and then bringing my people with me so that they can experience it with me, you know? But usually, that's one thing that people don't know about me is like usually if you invite me anywhere or I do anything, I'm going to be by myself most of the time because I want to experience it by myself. And then the next time I will be with people, most likely.
I like that. You know, I think it's important to have solitude because there's a lot of people, especially it's very common too for people who are creative to enjoy solitude because that's usually how they're able to create is by being in solitude, right? To think and contemplate. I do find very questionable and concerning when people who don't know how to be by themselves. Yeah. Because that means that they don't know how to deal with their self.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
Or fear of dealing with self.
Yeah. And then there's the fine line where people teeter on the other side too much, where they're with themselves too much. And they need to go find another opinion, or they need to find a contradicting opinion at some point.
I got you. Yeah.
Instead of being just like there's the, you can teeter on one side too much, where you lead in the like being in solitude too much and not opening up, and like that's bad. And then the other way, where you're just around people all the fucking time and you can't even like space out your thoughts or give your time to like have a therapy session with yourself, like have an interview with yourself, talking to yourself, being like, why were you feeling that way? Why did this person make you feel that way?
Yeah.
And then being able to go back in community and reviewing what you reviewed with yourself and keep that constant doctrine between your solitude and linking up with people to where you kind of vet and be like, okay, I know when I need to be by myself, when I need to kind of be around people or like that type of thing. So, and then you also, by knowing your solitude, you know what people you need around you, because the people you don't need around you, you're going to want more solitude away from. The people you need around you, you're going to kind of be like, damn, I do miss them. Like it would be cool to be around them for a day or like kick it with them like that. Like those are my people. You know, that's you need those people around you, not people that make you feel like, I don't know if I even want to be in that space at all.
I'm not sure if I want to F with that people. Yeah. I think it's important. I think it's necessary for human beings to commune. We have to, there's a reason why, commune means to get together.
Yes,
you can't spell community without commune.
Yeah.
And if you want to go biblical, you have to have communion,
Yes,
right?
For sure.
Right. So it's very important for us to be together. And it's funny when you mentioned the extreme side of solitude. It made me think of Jeffrey Dahmer for some reason.
Legitimately, though.
Yeah,
that's like legitimate shit, though. That's legit.
It's like, was he the one that ate black men specifically? I think that's the one.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
He did.
very. I wonder what's going on in that mind. That's
solitude. Too much solitude.
Yeah, but like black men specifically, like
that's insane.
Yeah,
that's
what happened?
That's insane.
Did mom not let you dance to James Brown when you were a child, and then you're just like,
I'm so infatuated with this
I couldn't. Mama wouldn't let me have it when I was younger, I want them to be a part of me so badly.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's a psychological way of thinking about things, which is sometimes true for real.
Very true. Tru, thank you so much, man, for being on the
always.
Empire.
Thank you very much.
What current projects are you working on?
I'm working on 3 EPs for the people. Hopefully by the end of this year, get like 3 projects out.
Okay.
Got a bunch of videos coming up. Hopefully by the time this comes out and people see this, I'll have like some music videos for people to see. And yeah, I'm just every day working on myself and becoming better and trying to get to the goal. But also, I want to add, you asked me what I'm working on. Mm-hmm. I'm working on things, but this is reach out to the community. I can only be as great as you guys make me. So whatever I'm working on, it only gets better as the more you guys support, the more you guys stop hiding behind a thing of not wanting to support people like that. That's a big thing. So yes, I'm working on stuff, but I can only bring it to this realm and bring it to this world the more help I get from you guys, the more love I get from you guys, the more support, the more anything I get from you guys. I can promise you I can get this work out to you, and hopefully it can stand in our culture enough to where you guys feel like it's something that's needed. So, yeah, I need your guys' help to make this shit crack.
Perfect.
Make this work.
That part, it's so interesting. 'Cause I was going to ask you earlier when I was talking about, is there still money in the music business? Right? I was going to ask you, do you think it's wrong for us as artists and businesses to ask for help, our people for money and support,
Yeah.
Because some people might, you know what I mean?
If the artists and I'm only saying this because I've been told this to myself, is that I feel like I do inspire people, and I do have like a standpoint or like a perspective that people want to hear. But how can I put it? What was the question again? What was the question one more time?
Should artists and businesses ask for support?
Yes.
Like financial support from there.
Okay, yeah. And I feel like, I think that you should. I think that you very much so should ask for funds. But what I was going to say was that you have to be, the people have to be willing to see that you want it enough, if that makes sense. And it has to be giving them something. Like you have to only be, this sounds kind of crazy, but you have to be sacrificing yourself for their betterment and entertainment in that sense. Mm-hmm. And they'll be willing to give you money. And I think that the people should vet that more so that they can be willing to give. But I think there's so many people that are living in a facade and they're saying they're doing it for this culture, they're doing it for this, and people are still giving them money anyway to do it, you know what I'm saying? And still like to make it so. Yeah, I think that we should get paid, but I think, I'm gonna just leave it at that. I think we as artists should get paid. I think we should ask for money. We should do it. Yeah. It can get to like a complex thing of like who should be asking for that money and what you have to be doing to like be asking for money, or like what has to. But that's neither here nor there. I think if I'm gonna stand on my my Black culture and shit, like we deserve it. Like whatever bread we do to be artistic and be out there, and like as long as it's being progressive, as long as it's actually being progressive, and not saying like a twerking song or a song talking about throwing ass or it isn't being progressive, because it is. Like, there's songs, like, depending on how it's being placed in the culture, could be progressive. But I think that, like, that's where the money should be funneled into, is like people that we see that are actually progressing our culture and willing to do that for this culture of music and things like that. Because there are a lot of people that are getting paid to really just like all on themselves. Like, they just all on themselves. Like, they get all this money and then they're like, I'm great, I'm the best, I know it, da da da. And really, we need that money to go to an entity that can funnel that shit somewhere else. I'm not saying give the money out, but know ways to let that shit grow and like put that money somewhere and have to let the culture grow, where it doesn't just grow that one character. It actually makes an impact on everything that everybody's doing. And everybody can get a bag. Because like I said, I don't give a fuck what anybody's talking about. They are printing money every day. There is nowhere that you cannot get money. They're printing money every day. Do not tell me that you cannot get bread. You can get bread. Go get it. Go for it. I think that's it. Yeah.
Money out here for everybody.
There is.
You know, when you said progressive, it made me think, you know, I guess it made me think of a word even. I like, as long as the art's good. That's what I was thinking, as opposed to progressive, because yeah, I'll keep it as simple as good, because there's when it comes to like shake your ass and blah 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 blah, I feel like it's oversaturated with that type of information.
For sure.
And it'd be nice to get some good art.
And see, and that's where I mean progressive, because you could still, if an artist knows how to, for example, like you said, like it's what's being saturated right now. If an artist knows how to use that saturation to progress people into a different way of listening to something else, that's how I feel like it can be used. Like, for example, if Kendrick has to do a GNX for people to listen to Mr. Morale. Okay, like that works. Like, if it has to be that, or if it has to be, in my opinion, this is a very wild context, but say Sexy Red. She has that, like, she has enough following to make her status of what she's doing progressive. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, she, maybe to the outside looking at, because she wants to get the bag, it's not becoming progressive, but she could turn that narrative around and be like, yeah, like, this is obviously who I am, what I do, what I came from, this is where our culture's from. Like, your grannies have done it, or your mamas have done it. Like, it's just a part of our culture. But if she can progress it into a different way, or try to make it into like progressing our culture, and the women that even are like her, or even just viewing getting money in a different way, or just doing it like being business or being bosses, like that's progressive to me. Like that's where it's like, okay, that's where you're moving the culture forward to where we can have a Doechii. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But then that's the thing. It's like, are these people being intentional about it, or are they just kind of just like willy-nilly doing it as they're going?
Like they're being molded by the system.
For sure. And that's where it's like, you have to stand. That's where the fine line is built, where it's like, okay, you got the people that are just doing it for the money or the culture, or not the culture, but for like the accolades. And then you got the people that are really trying to progress this shit forward. And I can't even fault them, even if it's something I don't like. If I can see from the outside looking in that, oh, this is going to progress, but they're just making them do this right now, or this is just what it is right now, then that's just what it is, you know? Like, that's just what it is. So,
bro, it'd be super cool to see Sexy Red flip her whole script from what she's doing to be like, all right, we're going to talk about families and being good wives and the importance of having a family.
For sure.
And the importance of, that would be super cool to see her flip that.
Yeah,
I know it's probably probably like, you know, fantasy world, but that'd be a really cool flip.
Yeah, but even
cool
in the sense, it's like, even if we look at all of our journeys, like, who's to say that can't happen? You know what I'm saying? And that it can become aggressive, but she has to be conscious of it now. Even if it's not her actual movement, she has to be conscious of it becoming progressive to where, and her heart has to be in that place to where God will align her to where it will be a conversation. And she might not be telling people like, oh, you need to be a wife, but she might be telling people like, yo, like, this is the lifestyle you have to live. Or like, if you want to be a certain way, my way wasn't the way, but I found a fine line and I had to learn that this wasn't the way and this is the way. And, you know, things like that, because there's a wrong thing. There's a wrong ways she's looking at it, and there's a right way too. And I think that like it can be helpful, but if she's not conscious of it, then
that's it.
It's just gonna be what it is. Like it's just gonna be what people are listening to it for.
That's it. Yeah. Tru Lee, thank you again, man.
Yes, always, man.
Let's say 100 years pass by.
Yes.
250 years pass by. What would you like your empire to look like 250 years from now?
250 years from now, I would like empire. Yeah, I would want all the children and the kids that look like me, and come from our background, that they don't feel like anything is unachievable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never believed that when I was younger. Even when I hear people say it, like, I mean, when you get older, you realize like there are some things that get into your diaspora where you're like, okay, yeah, I might not be able to achieve it, but I don't think I've ever thought like I can achieve something. And I think that God has placed that in me to be a living example for more people to feel like that, whether they look like me or not, I guess, like not even just our same skin color, but just in general, like for people to be inspired. So I want my empire to be flourishing. I want them to feel fulfilled. I want people to feel like I was a living example of sticking to your grounds and getting everything you wanted still. That's my biggest thing, is like sticking to who you are morally and who you are as a great person, and still getting everything you ever wanted, and still being a good person, you know what I'm saying? And still being what God kind of ambitioned for you to be, you know? So
yeah,
that's my goal, dog. And I think it'll happen. But 250 years, I won't be able to see it, huh? It'll kind of just happen.
Nope.
Well, I know God's going to let me plant those seeds for it to happen 250 years from now, you know? And that's where I hope I at least get to just see the seeds I plant. If I don't get to see that, I know, like we were talking about, we don't know what happens after this. I might be front row of everything I lay down here, you know what I'm saying? Or you just never know. You just don't know. So, yeah, just got to lay it down now, live it like I won't see it, and love it for what it is, for real.
I love that. Your empire, and Boy Meets World's already one of the seeds already laid down.
Yes, 100%.
Right?
100%.
Tru Lee, thank you for being on the Empire, man.
Yes. Shouts out the Empire, y'all.
Can you please let everybody know how they can find you, support you, all that good jazz? Can everybody know?
Like I said, you can go to official Tru Lee on all streaming platforms, on Instagram, Twitter. I have TikTok. I'm on YouTube under Tru Lee official. It's Tru Lee official on YouTube. So it's just flipped over. We're trying to get the official Tru Lee name back. We're getting that. But yeah, you can follow me. And like I said, it's TRULEE. And yeah, this is True with the Empire.
Yes, and ladies and gentlemen, I'll have his link to the IG in the description so you guys can click on it. I want to thank him for being. I want to thank all you guys who stood and listened, and please like the video, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below what you thought. If you like the work that we're doing and you want to support, you can do our Cash App, which is $THEE Empire Podcast. We also have PayPal, Venmo, all those other things that are in the description.
I have all those things too.
Yeah, and we also have merch. We have books. So anything that you want to do to help support this work, really appreciate it. And yeah, even liking the video and sharing helps too. But we want to thank all you guys for being on, and want to thank Tru Lee again. Is there anything else you want to say before we get out of here, Tru Lee?
Not really. I think we covered a lot of shit, so I think we're good. I think I'm good.
I think we're good. All right, folks. We'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.
And hold on real quick. I'm in an interview.
Hey, interview me too.
Okay. I'm gonna call you back. All right. But yeah.